The platforms of the Gentlemen's Sim Racing Club and launching into week 3 of term 3 across Facebook and YouTube. Nice to have you along, everybody. Zach Cabe and Adam Lavis with you. Welcome to Monday Night Motorsport. Welcome to Road America first up for the Mazda MX5 Challenge. And then, of course, we're going on to Virginia International Raceway for the first of our sprint rounds in GT3 this season. It's Waste Options Monday Night Motorsport, and it's live, exclusive, and free. Let's have a look at the Road America circuit for you. This is Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. It's steeped in rich history and tradition. It's one of our favourites. We love it. 14 turns, 6.5 kilometres. It's one of the meccas of the caper, and we're at 10:50 in the morning local server time there. 3 kilometre an hour winds in a mostly northerly direction. 25 degrees the ambient, 41 on track, but most importantly, it's dry, it's clear. Andrew Dyson's going to hold pole position for this evening, but the man they're all trying to catch at the moment is Sam Chapman, who holds a 20-point lead at the top of the championship, ahead of Reese Gosner on 88, 79 points for Jeff Adams, Brett Barker 75, Richard King on 70 points. Then you go back to Angus Cook, Atsushi Osafune, Chris Noble, Matt Distill, and Guy Leach making up the top 10. The grid tonight, stacked, 30 of them in fact. Row 1, Andrew Dyson, Nick Wood. Row 2, Chris Noble, Atsushi Osafune. Row 3, Reese Gosner, Daniel Carrier. Row 4, Guy Leach, Jared Knight. Row 5, Jackson Dahl and Adam Proctor. Row 6, Brayden Sagassa and Jeff Adams. Row 7, Tim Ward and John Simpson. Good to see him back out there. Row 8, Anthony Connors and Sam Chapman. So Chapo's got a bit of work to do tonight from 16th on the grid. David Baz, Brett Barker from 9. Angus Cook and Richard King from 10. Taylor Oakes, Michael Adams, Phil King, Robbie Walsh, Harry Lawrence, Eli Donaldson, Aaron Russell, Callan Hodgkinson, Cameron Hardwick and Morgan Dahl make up the field. Ready to fire! Race 4 of the championship, Mazda MX5s, let's go in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. They creep away off the line, but it's a beautiful start at the front from Andrew Dyson, converting there on the inside. And Nick Wood going with him. Chris Noble trying to find a way through the middle, but eventually tucks in behind and follows Nick Wood, and Dyson makes it line astern to turn 1. Can they all squeeze through? Let's hope so. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So far, so good. Let's wait and see. All 30 getting away cleanly. How long will we be saying that for? We'll wait and see. Props off the top to our mate Grant Gill. The new intro has come up a treat, of course. And Greg Heaney still managing to get a cameo even without Titanic CR on the schedule. Down the back straight for the first time. Andrew Dyson, Nick Wood, Chris Noble and Reese Gosner, the top 4. Good evening, Adam Lavis. Says Noble goes for a dive down the inside. Chris Noble from 3rd to 1st, run it too deep. The up and under the switchback from Andrew Dyson, and he's going to hang himself out to dry. Here is Chris Noble, Nick Wood back down the inside. Oh, all that hard work, and he's got to reset and go again. Adam Lavis, good evening to you. We love racing in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. The Mazdas are perfect for this racetrack. We're going to see plenty of side-by-side and 2x2 running tonight, and some slipstreaming and drafting as well.
Oh, yeah, it's a great track, one of the best ones on the service, especially little cars like this, where it's pretty, although it's basically a regular traditional track, it's just open enough that a car at this sort of speed, it's going to be a lot of slipstream battles. So as long as you don't lose that 1 second toe, you can get back in it. But it is one of those tracks that if you do hang out wide in the wrong spot, you can get crucified quick smart and fall backwards real fast. So you just got to keep in mind of when to make those moves and when to use that slipstream.
Indeed, as they make their way through Canada for the first time. And the kink at the end of the back straight. And then the run down. Here we go. So carousel, kink, Canada. Sorry, I had a dyslexic moment. Went in the reverse order. Dyson, Wood, Noble, Gosner, Atsushi Osafune, then Jared Knight. You've picked up Chapo, already up 4 spots to 12. That's a good start from him. And David Baz in 16th as well. And Chapo's been smart about it. I mean, 1st, 4th and 5th last week, 20-point championship lead. Consistency will win this title. Qualifying the Achilles heel this evening for him, but he'll try and save some juice throughout the course of the night. Try and one-up everybody in the CPS. That will inevitably feature in the back third of proceedings here. Scotty Rankin, good evening to you. Fancy having your company on a Monday night, normally reserved for a Wednesday or a Friday. Nice to see you tuning in across Facebook and YouTube. End of the first lap. And yes, hello to Robbie Colbreth as well. Great to have everybody tuning in We've got GT3 from VIR following this one, ladies and gentlemen. We're excited about that. Of course, Scotty's seen far too much of Road America for the sake of it in recent times with the Logitech V8 Pro series here in recent weeks. And, of course, we've also had his company for the GT3 Pro Invitational Series as well. That fires back into life at Circuit de la Sarthe in Le Mans, France, in the middle of August. We don't visit Road America. We've actually completed our trips to America this season with news that the Ben Motorsport Park is going to replace COTA on that schedule at the back end of October. That was a good move from Reece Gosner. Down the inside of Nick Wood, and Chris Noble capitalises on it as well. There we go. Dyson, Gosner, Noble, and Wood. The top four. Jared Knight into 5th spot, up 3 spots already. Atsushi Osafune down 2. Braden Sagasa up 4. Jack O'Donnell up 1. Daniel Carissa, Guy Leach have lost out 3 spots respectively. Sam Chapman up 5 spots here as well. Now 25 and 3/4 minutes to go. Race distance is scheduled for 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, which, crunching the numbers early on, would suggest we'll get 12 laps, no change. A little bit of overtime attached to that, because the fastest of the times that were clocked in the preceding qualifying session before we got on air here were in the 2:33s. A little bit of drama further back. This was Cameron Hardwick. Oh dear. Bang. Had company down there as well. And that was Cameron Hardwick's day done.
Harry Lawrence in the 90.
And Lawrence has got back to 26 as a result of that. Oh, Johnny Simpson's off the road right now. As we go back live, you will see Johnny Simpson off the road. But Adam Proctor, in the meantime, a replay. Anthony Connors has towed to pit lane and exited stage left as well. So he's in a bit of trouble. Callan Hodgkinson too. This is what happened to John Simpson down at Canada. Hello, Craig. Good evening to you as well. Bang! 3-1 does not go. I would have loved to have seen, I don't know why we didn't entertain the idea of it. I would have loved to have seen some racing around the Daytona Oval in Florida, the Daytona Speedway Oval.
That was a bit rough.
Given what they're capable of there, that was rough for Anthony Connors. The rough end of the stick there. Cameron Hardwick has rejoined, but he is a lap down, so he's out of classification after 2.5 minutes on the tow rope. Jared Knight down the inside for 3rd. Knight is on a charge, up 5 spots already. Chris Noble, Nick Wood, Atsushi Osafune, Braden Sagasa, Jack O'Donnell, Daniel Carissa, and Sam Chapman make up the top 10. Chapo up 6 spots already, championship leader. Important to keep an eye on him. Of course, this is the second of the regular rounds. We've had the sprint round already. We've had a regular 30-minute sprint on top of that in the first week. Next week, Belle Isle, Detroit, Michigan. Oh, and sprint racing. So an invert top 10 in the second race, just for the sake of it. That will bring some fireworks with it. Don't worry about that. Atsushi Osafune down 2 spots already. Jared Knight and Chris Noble still arguing over the same piece of real estate. And Osafune's got Sagasa to contend with, and Sagasa went around the outside, if you don't mind. Have a look at Braden. Up into 6th. The charge continues. Knight's trying to cover off Noble as well. Dyson and Gosner, 1 and 2. They're trying to skip clear and break the tow. Dyson's out of tow range at the moment, but Gosner's going to have his hands full in a tick.
Yeah, they're going to be careful. Dyson's very close to breaking away here.
Of the 30 that started, we've still got... Well, actually, no. Cameron Hardwick's back on the tow rope, back on pit lane again. So, not sure what's triggered that this time round, but Cameron Hardwick, I reckon, will be parking up for the night. It'll get to the point where he may as well. If he goes any more than 3 laps down here, he won't be able to be classified on 75%. And remember, we only paid points down to 25th, and Gosner at Knight. And Noble, does he want to poke his nose through the middle? No, he doesn't. He tucks back in and follows 90 through. Look at Sagasa down the inside, going up into position number 5. He's got by Nick Wood. And Jeff Adams back to 13th now, at the expense of Brett Barker, who's moved up to 12th. David Baz, Richard King make up the top 15. Taylor Oakes, Aaron Russell up 10 spots already. The biggest mover of the race so far. Morgan Dial equal 10, up into 20th. But obviously, the higher you finish, the better your chances of securing that bonus point for most positions gained in the instance of a tiebreaker, where we've got 2 with most positions gained. So, sharing the spoils. Adam.
They're actually, like, the slipstream's over a second. Like, Jared is catching Dyson on the straight. It's gone from 1.1 down to 0.85. Now it's just going against the slipstream is quite long in this car.
Yeah. It could also be. He could have also been getting a bump draft. Yeah, and not only that, how often you see it in Formula V in the lower powered, horse-powered cars, right? Whereby you're better to be working with somebody, working in a pack. It's very hard to lead from the front and maintain the advantage.
Yeah, bump draft.
The elite can do it. Tyson Broad, I just hear a bunch of hair dryers. Running down to the local hairdressers. I like where you're going with that, Tyson. Well played.
See, Reese knows what's going on, and I was like, nah, we need to get going.
So Noble down the inside. 90's hung out to dry. 90! Whoa, hey! Dukes of Hazzard stuff from Jared Knight. Look at Sagasa getting off to the inside to cover off Nick Wood. And have a look at Jacko. Dial up there on the outside of Reese Gosner. Will he go around the outside of Gosner? You better believe it. Puts himself on the inside for the left-hander.
And how quick that...
Stefune and Chapman have caught them as well.
And how quick that changed. The guys got it down to 0.8, 0.9. And as soon as they went side by side through those two left-handers, it's blown out to 2 seconds.
Work together, boys, not against one another. Track position is king. But it's no good fighting for second. This early in the piece, if you lose contact with first, Andrew Dyson's got one hand on it at the moment. 2.1 to the good. It's out beyond that slipstream range now. Look at the hurry-up that 90's given Chris Noble here. The top 10 are all in a battle pack with the exception of the race leader. They are trying to reel him in, but they're working against one another in the process. Through turn 12. Boy, Noble's wide. That's going to hand second to potentially Jared Knight around the outside at 13. Yes, have a look at 90 for HDS Racing. Nicely done. Although, why is he showing as none on my team list at the moment? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah.
Copy that. Jared Knight, HTS, Chris Noble, Alpha, but showing as nothing at the moment. Reese Gosner to pit lane. Reese Gosner to pit lane. He's going to work on his own for the remaining 9 laps. He's going the reverse strat. He's stopping at the quarter-way mark of the race. Or the third-way mark, I should say. 4 laps gone, 10 minutes gone, 20 minutes to go, 8 laps theoretically. Down the outside to turn 1. That is Jacko Dial, is it? Trying to fend off Sam Chapman and Atsushi Osafune. Oh. Osafune trying to get down on the inside of Dial. Chapman's got up to 7th. He was 6th momentarily, but Dial's gone back around the outside. And if they don't sort this out momentarily, they'll lose contact with that battle pack for 2nd through 5th. Bump draft down the back straight. 2 wheels in the dirt for Chris Noble. Oh, Nick Wood to his inside. He's going to go to 3rd for the moment. Big dive from Dial to see off the throttle. Oh, round goes Nick Wood. Round goes Nick Wood. Gone. He's out of the fight. We've also lost Daniel Correa-Sarr from that fight momentarily as well. Brett Barker, Jeff Adams, 9th and 10th, David Baz, Taylor Oakes, Richard King, Aaron Russell, all beneficiaries of Nick Wood putting it off the road. And Nick Wood plummets to 15th. Phil King, Robbie Walsh, both on pit road. Robbie's being held for a lot longer than you'd expect. Have a look at this 2 wheels in the dirt moment from Chris Noble. Almost all 4. Nick Wood's the one we want to keep an eye on here. Down the inside. He went too deep, didn't he? Yep. Trying to pull himself up. He's tripped up. And that was poor old Daniel Correa-Sarr getting left behind, trying to take the evasive action. Tim Ward's just got by Michael Adams on my screen as well. Harry Lawrence is pressuring Johnny Simpson for 20th. We've had pit stops so far from Reese Gosner, from Angus Cook, from Eli Donaldson, Phil King, and Anthony Connors. Cameron Hardwick is out there more than a lap down. This is what we need to find out what happened to Morgan Dial as well. This is what happened. Morgan's off the road. Oh, no. Broken Mazda on the tow rope, on pit road, and parked up and retired. Oh, rain! Here we go! Hello, Marge! The rains are here! Just when you didn't need a speller thrown in the works at Elkhart Lake in Wisconsin. Look at this.
The worst thing that could happen is if this rain is heavy enough to get the track wet, those guys have pitted already, have crucified themselves.
They're stuffed. They'll be up the creek without the proverbial paddle. It's saying mostly dry, but it's raining. Wowee. We feel the same about Thursday night, Scott. We had wet weather in the forecast for the Porsche racing on Thursday night, and we're still waiting for it. That was at the Okayama International Circuit. Nick Wood, Adam Proctor to pit lane. Again, is this a gamble from those guys?
So it's only raining
on get out of traffic.
Yes, it's not raining at turn 3, but it's raining on the front straight and the second straight. So the rain is obviously coming across the track. Just when you didn't need a spanner thrown in the works, it's raining in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Now the other point is, will this end up costing us a racing lap as well if the times diminish enough? Will it become an 11-lap race? Adam Proctor's taken the plunge. He's gone to wet straight away. Boy, David Baz is in 9th with his hands full. He's got Brett Barker and Taylor Oakes down the inside of Barker, gets by to 9th. Or 10th, that should be. And Barker's 11th. Adams and Russell are side by side. Adams is going by Barker now as well. Adams will go to 11th around the outside of Barker. And here comes Aaron Russell just for fun. 2 wheels in the grass from Russell. There they go. Brett Barker and Aaron Russell come together. And Barker clamps the wall. Into the concrete, the rear end of the Mazda. Crunch. Still mostly dry, but there's your first big moment of the night. Brett Barker on the tow rope to pit lane. So the track temp's still 35. That's the key thing. The track temperature hasn't started to cool down yet. So that's
it was 41 at the start, so it has been slight.
Not enough to really. So there's going to be plenty of grip in the tyres with these slicks still.
Absolutely. And actually, the other point is, I haven't had a good enough look at the Mazda MX-5s. Is there a definitive? Because some of these slick tyres have still got a groove on them. So, with the Mazda, is it a whole slick?
They have a whole. I don't know if it's a whole. It might be a groove slick, but there is a proper wet tyre for it.
Yeah. Copy. So 7 minutes past 11 server time. Up onto the main straight we go. Half race distance come and gone. Oh boy. Scott is still waiting for that rain to arrive in the Supercar series for our friends at the Australian.
It's already stopped raining on the front straight.
Group. It has.
It's only a passing shower.
It was just a passing shower. That'll screw Adam Proctor. It was 22 seconds on the tow rope for him. On the jacks for him to change to wets. Whoa! Wide goes Jared Knight! Yeehaw! Rally cross and all, and Chris Noble gobbles that up and says thank you very much. You don't need to send him an invitation. He'll happily take second away from you. And Chapo's up to 4th. Sagat's at a 5th, and all the meanwhile Andrew Dyson's out to a 4-second lead and saying goodbye. Oh, we love our Mazda racing on a Monday night. It's great to have this series back. And now look at the hurry up. The Jack O'Donnell is giving Braden Sagasa down the inside on the run to turn 5, and Chapo's through the middle. He thinks better of that. Noble around the outside. Chapman following him. Jared Knight's there as well. They're using all the real estate a little bit more. Knight, he's trying to close the door on Chapman, and Sagasa's down on his inside. Oh, great racing from this pair. All 6 of them, really, to be fair. Just phenomenal. And Osafune is there in the thick of it in 7th, behind Jack O'Donnell. Most positions gained, 11 for Sam Chapman and Taylor Oakes, 14 for Aaron Russell, but the field is far from cleansed.
So Dyson's going to be cheering, these guys have been battling. But the one person who's going to be the cheer squad from the keep battling is Daniel Sarkis. He's just out of the tow at the moment, and he would really like him to battle just a little bit to get himself back in his group after being held up by Nick Wood's spin.
Callan Hodgkinson is the only one outside the top 18 yet to stop. Everybody else has been to pit lane and cleansed. Brett Barker's out onto the track now, but going to go a lap down, or near enough to it. He's 3/4 of a lap down, so he's out of contention. Robbie Walsh also showing the better part of a lap down. Cameron Hardwick is still out there limping around a lap down, and Morgan Dial, the only retirement so far, still got 29 runners. Lawrence Agasso, he was trying to get by Chris Noble. Noble was not having a bar of it. Knight's got back to second. Oh, how many times has the battle for second been better than the battle for first? on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. Our last lap thriller is going to be for the minor placings tonight. You get the feeling. Up onto the main straight. Jared Knight dives to pit lane. Everybody else plays on. Let's go.
So we just see where Jared comes out here because Reese is all by himself. He has no tow buddies at the moment, so whether he's gained or lost time all depends on how much these guys have been battling.
We've only burnt half a minute of that leeway time that we've got, so at this rate, we're going at least 31 minutes in this race tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, once you take the pit lane transit into consideration. Dyson Noble Sagassa not wet enough to warrant going and diving to the pit lane for those wets yet. Jared Knight and John Simpson on pit road. Gosner and Wood back out 19th and 20th. Hodgkinson still to the pit. Cork and Proctor still around the 22nd, 23rd marker, but Proctor's just plummeting down the order with no grip, no pace at all on those wet tyres. And now down the inside of Osafune dives Sam Chapman. Going back into position number 5, trying to stay in contact with Dial, Sagassa and Noble. What about that from Jacko Dial for Orbit Drop there? Great to see them with presence here on this grid.
Oh, Nick's
Of
another.
course. Oh no, poor old Nick Wood, he can't take a trick. Dyson has been called to the tech shed after the race to have the stroke check. Yeah. Oh, I like it. Oh, the contact. That was never going to end well, unfortunately, for Nick Wood. Wrong place, wrong time. And now, this battle continues. Dyson is 5 seconds to the good. Noble, Dial, Sagassa. Noble's trying to break clear.
This is the
battle for ninth with Taylor Oak.
Battle for eighth. Yeah, it's the second battle group.
Copy.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, whoa, trouble. Chapo and Dial have come together. Chapo and Dial have come together through the carousel.
Oh, Jackson's lost through.
It looked like it was clipping already. Around the outside went Chap. No. You can see how that's ending, can't you? So Dial tried to go down the inside of Sagassa. There's 0.1 of contact there. Dial didn't have full control of the car. He's come back out. But then...
Chapo sort of started coming around. Yeah, Chapo hasn't held the outside line and they've sort of just met in the middle.
So that takes them out of contention. Game-changing moment as far as the championship fight is concerned.
It puts them into this bigger group now. This group has merged.
So it's now 6 deep. 7. Oh, jeez. Good luck. Down to pit lane come Braden Sagassa and Daniel Caressa. There'll be a few others diving for that lane option now as well. Russell, Chapman, Leach.
Jared Knight came out 3 seconds behind Reese Gosner, so Reese is on a mission here.
And Reese will be chasing the proverbial, there's no doubt about that. I'm just getting a look at Adam Proctor's times now. 2:38,
that would
so
be
about
good.
4
That
seconds
would not be
slower per lap than what he was previously on the dry tyre. So once you take the pit lane transit into consideration, plus the extra time beyond that 2.5 minutes, yeah, you're looking at an easy minute of overtime here in this race tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Still looking at 12 laps. Here they come, the leaders. And Sagassa has come back out with Gosner around the outside. You're right, Gosner is on a mission. Sagassa on the box for 2 seconds longer than Gosner, and that could be the difference in the end. Caressa, Knight and Russell. Yeah, it was only enough to fill the bottle top, really, to be fair, Stridey. Well played. It wasn't much. And that's Taylor Oakes back down on the inside to 4th. These guys yet to pit. Top 11 yet to stop. That's important to know. Down the inside, big dive. Richard King, got him. Oakes is not done with yet. Oakes will fight back on the inside. But King is up to the challenge, up to the task. Great to see, I mentioned earlier, didn't get to finish the point with regards to Jacko Dial. Great to see Orbit Drop there still have presence here on a Monday night. Of course, they will be royally present and prominent and factoring into our coverage of GT3 Pro a little bit later on this evening. But of course, they dominated the opening split of Monday Night Motorsport, the entree last term with GT4. And that was really good viewing. It's very reporting in from the middle of the lake. It's wet out here. Yeah, thank you, Scott. Down the inside. Oh, jeez. So yeah, GT4 absolutely dominated it in the end by Orbit drop there on 1.9 last year. Orbit getting the job done and then winning GT3 as well. Their troops are few and far between here in the Mazda MX5 Cup, but they're still represented, and there's a lot more teams in the mix for all the outright honours, led by Chapman and Gosner and Adams and Barker and King at the moment. Down the main straight to pit lane come both Chris Noble, Jeff Adams, Taylor Oates.
Interesting that the subpar boys didn't go together.
Correct. They're hedging their bets. 3 laps to go. Andrew Dyson's lead is 8.8 over Atsushi Osafune, who's been brilliant tonight. Richard King third, Jack O'Donnell, Michael Adams, David Baz, Tim Ward, all yet to stop. Chris Noble's pit lane time. Let's have a look at this as Sam Chapman joins us. Oh, hang on, that can't be good news. Chapo, what happened, please? No comment from Chapman at this stage. He's still out there. Oh, I can see what's happened. I can see what's happened, Adam Lavis. Have a look at your totem pole. Our mate Chapo's gone in and put wets on. So not only has he got a case to answer with race control with that incident with Jackson Dole, he's also tripped himself up by changing the wets on a drying circuit. Chapo
he's got Proctor to race now.
Sorry?
He's going to race against Proctor now.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yes, apparently so.
Hello, Chapo. Good evening.
Good evening, yes. Yeah, it was a bit of a fun race till then, and then I don't know what happened in that. Did that look like it was on me, did it? I thought it was definitely the other way around. But
it's more of a meet in the middle. Like you were sort of on the outside, but you sort of just started to come back a little bit, and then Jackson was there, and he was still getting recovery, so he wasn't actually, he was sort of just in the middle line, so sort of just more of a, you've both sort of just gone for that same bit of track. I don't know if it's anyone's fault, it's just sort of like you both sort of met in the same spot.
Yeah, wonderful. No, I had the Jack Rain tyres set already, and then that sort of pushed me to an early pit, but because I was rushing the pit, I forgot that I'd set the tyres early, so put wet tyres on, and then I went, oh no, and went to change it to dries and start putting more dry tyres on. So we've done 2 tyre changes so far. So we've got nice new tyres, nice cold tyres out here. But yes, from what was quite a good race to quite a blunder.
Unfortunately, there goes your first drop round of the campaign, I'd say, Chapo. Have a look at this battle in the meantime. I'm coming back to you, mate. Stand by. Andrew Dyson to pit road. Only monumental stuff up from him. There are other words I could use, but it's, again, 8 o'clock in the evening, East Coast time. Atsushi Osafune to second. Only a monumental stuff up from Andrew Dyson prevents him the chance to go on and record a victory here. And it would be a case of snatching victory from the jaws of, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory if he does trip up here. David Baz continues on. He's got probably one more lap in him before he has to pit because there is a CPS here. Atsushi Osafune, Jackson Dahl, Michael Adams, Richard King, and Timmy Ward. So the field, with the exception of David Baz, cleansed at this time by Reese Gosner down the main straight. Now, is he going to be second in the mix here? Andrew Dyson's probably going to be the only one ahead of him. He's going to try tremendous. Oh, Rain's back. Wow. Okay. Chapo, the track might come to you now, mate. King, Adams, Ward, Dial making their way out onto the racetrack now. David Baz still leads this thing.
Proper wet. It's already wet.
Gosner's gone at 1. Gosner's gone at 1.
It's already very wet. Very
Two is Brian Sagasa. Have a look at this.
Turn 1 is proper wet.
At the Elkhart Lake Circuit in Wisconsin. Oh my goodness. It's tippy toe stuff for the rest of the race, and now Taylor Oates is off the road as well. He gets into the side of Nick Wood. He's in the wall. And now the fight is on the back straight, but it's not just the positional fight, it's the survival fight now as well. Baz, Dyson, Gosner, Noble, Knight, Korea, Saar, Sagasa, Osafune, and Russell, the top 9. Reaches their intent.
It's literally one big downpour at turn 1 too, because it's dry at turn 5.
It's dry everywhere else. Like, it's very weird. Like, I just went into turn 1, just fortunately got a little bit of information from the broadcast there, and it's really damp there. But everywhere else, it's fine. So it's a bit odd.
The perks of knowing the right people, Chapo, eh?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh dear. Baz, Dyson, Gosner, Noble, Knight. Now Baz still has to pit. Gosner is 5 seconds in arrears of Dyson. Reese Gosner's looking good. Considering that Chapo is 19th at the moment, Reese Gosner's on here to trim that 20%, that 20-point deficit in this championship, and maybe even leave here at the profit as well before we go to the street to Detroit next week. So everybody's going to have to be cautious, for lack of better words, going to turn 1 the final time. Yeah, correct, Strotty. There's a serious question to be asked here about the Tempest weather system. Guy Leach is off. Guy Leach is off. Dropping outside the top 15. Guy Leach is done. Drops down to 17th and rejoins. This is how it happened. Through the kink. Oh, no! Whooshka! Oh, boy.
Jeff was lucky to get through that. But Richard King didn't.
Colin Hodgkinson to pit lane. Hodgkinson, I should say. Then Cameron Hardwick still out there a lap down. Nick Woods retired. Robbie Walsh still back on pit road. Can stay there and be classified. Eli Donaldson parked up. Morgan Dial as well. Now, we're going to answer. We're going to answer that question in a moment, Sammy. Thank you for tuning in. Jared Knight to the inside of Chris Noble at 1. No! This is for 4th. They've got to be cautious through there. Look at them. 2 wheels in the grass. On the limit! And David Baz. Oh, hang on. David Baz is going to get slugged, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to get penalty.
He's going to get slugged. He's off the road and parked up.
He's penalising himself.
Sure. Well, that's right. He's penalising himself for 1, but I'm not even sure that he can make it on fuel for 2. It's going to be interesting. David Baz will cop a post-race penalty from race control. That is known. That is fact. There is a CPS requirement in this series, ladies and gentlemen. And David Baz, currently showing 8th, will not stay there. This is a battle for the minor placings led by Reese Gosner. There is Sagasa down on the inside of Atsushi Osafune. And back to 6th he goes. Well, it's been lively for the last half hour, folks. The clock expires. We're into overtime. We've got half a lap to go. 2 minutes 40 last time round for Reese Gosner, and that was even with that slip and slide at 1. The casualty ward grows by the second. We're going to have about 25 finishes if we're lucky, 27 classified because Hodgkinson and Ward will stay on pit road where they are at the moment, you would imagine. Just the 3 retirements, and now Phil King's on pit lane as well. So to answer Sammy's question, if you're not a member of the club already, race.tgsrci.com to sign up, become a member of the club, and then jump in and get amongst the action. Andrew Dyson. One of the great improvements in the club. Oh, look at this. Noble and Gosner. They're arguing over second, and Noble's down the inside of Gosner to the final corner. Watch the drag race up the hill. Noble and Gosner. Jared Knight's out of the fight. Andrew Dyson, clinical and dominant at Road America. Wins round 3 of the championship. The weights options. Mazda MX5 challenge. Gosner in the drag race over Noble. By a bonnet. And that's all it was, and look at Sagasa trying to close the door on Osafune, and it worked. Not in for 4th, Daniel Correa-Sar in for 5th, then Sagasa, Osafune, and Aaron Russell up 19 spots. There's your biggest hard charger of the night. Jack O'Donnell and Jeff Adams, Angus Cook, Taylor Oates, Michael Adams, Harry Lawrence, Guy Leach. David Baz is running out of fuel. David Baz is trying to limp to the line over the crest. He'll get there.
Oh, shit.
But it doesn't matter. Chapo.
Sorry.
We're live, please.
Sorry. That was my bad.
David Baz is going to cross the line 17th, but we know he's got a post-race invoice coming his way. What is that invoice, Adam Lavis?
I believe the base is 45, but obviously, yeah, so you guys can taper it one way or the other if they feel fit. But the start, the 45 is like the default starting point.
Jesus. Okay, so David Bass is going to drop. Let's have a look here. He'll drop to 22nd because there were only 22 finishes on the lead lap. So he's going to drop to 22nd from 17th to 22nd. We're not aware of any other penalties or race control notes or investigations or anything like that at this particular point, ladies and gentlemen. What we are aware of is that Cameron Hardwick came home a lap down. Robbie Walsh finished 2 laps down. I believe it might have been in the end. It's certainly showing as 2 laps down at the moment on our screen here. Tim Ward in 25th will get classified. So will Phil King, both being on pit road on that final lap as the checkered flag was waved on the tow rope or whatever the case may be. Callan Hodgkinson will get classified because he stayed in the server right up until the end of the race, 2 laps down. But it amounts to nothing because he won't get any championship points to show for it. Tim Ward will be the cutoff for championship points. Nick Wood, Eli Donaldson, Morgan Dong on finishes in all of that. Wowee. Where the hell do we begin with that? Taylor Oakes is going to come in and have a chat to us in just a tick, and it's going to be nice to hear from him. We'll get back to Chapo in just a moment. That was clinical from Andrew Dyson. Just saw his opportunity to get to the front and bolt. I didn't get to finish the point. You know, he's been one of the great, success stories of the club in recent times. The improvement that he's shown term on term and in a versatile different number of categories as well. And now he notches up a win in the Mazda MX5 Cup. We've got, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, to this point of the campaign already 4 races, 4 different winners. Guy Leach, Sam Chapman, Reece Gosner being the other 3. And it all sets us up beautifully for when we get to the streets of Detroit next week. Chapo, that one, we'll quickly write that off. Are you looking forward to VIR in the GT3s?
I'm not going to jump out in the GT3s. I've got to go do some work. That's why I jumped in just for Quali for these ones. So I don't have a lot of time tonight. Yeah. So no, we might be in and out of the GT3s this season.
Copy that. Whilst I can think of it, obviously that's a little bit disappointing what we've just had unfold there, mate. You've got good pace in these things. You're still very much firmly in championship contention. It's amazing how the domino effect works, that you get caught up in an incident and then trip yourself up on pit lane, sort of a double-edged sword. Great racing nonetheless. You've got to bring your A game each and every week. You've got to be strategic as well. Qualifying not necessarily working to your favour tonight, but geez, you raced well. And now, you know that you've got 4 or 5 different genuine championship contenders. They're going to push you every step of the way here. You're going to have to work hard for this one. How do you reset and go again when we get to Detroit next week?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe do more than the qualifying as my laps would probably be ideal.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I take a lot from the fact that I was able to race all the way forward to that top group. Obviously, Dyson already made a bit of a break, but to get to that top group, and I think I had pace to get out of them, but just wanted to sit behind at that point in the race. So, yeah, like we take a certain amount of confidence from that. It's just a lot of fun. This car is just a lot of fun to race, just with the way that you can rub panels a fair bit, and that they are quite twitchy. So there is a bit of banging back and forward, and it creates really good racing when you're racing with people that know what they're doing, which at the front they do. They're good racers. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Indeed. Now, what in Christ's name's going on in the background there? Can I hear the Mr. Whippy truck doing the rounds in your neck of the woods at the moment? Christ, that was bad.
I don't know.
It was over underwriting you a moment ago.
Oh, was there? I'm not aware. Maybe my internal monologue has gone out into the microphone, but I'm not hearing any music, which is now concerning me.
Yeah, I was definitely hearing something, and I hope I'm not alone. It sounded like the bloody Mr. Whiffy van. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to let you go on that note. Bad luck tonight. Good luck for the rest of the week. Hopefully we'll see you back on the track Thursday night. Cannot wait for that. That's going to be one hell of a doubleheader.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Thanks, Chapo. Good on you. As always, bad luck. Them's the breaks sometimes in this caper. Taylor Oakes, good evening to you. Geez, talk us through that. 12th in the end, up 9 spots. Qualifying doesn't necessarily, you know, dictate the narrative and the script and how it's all going to play out. That was a wild sort of 12 laps.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, especially the last couple of laps with turn 1 and 2 having, I think, borderline grip, no grip. But no, the qualifying's never really been a strong suit of mine. I've always been one that can plough through the field from qualifying and passing, making moves, but qualifying I've never really been able to put that lap together.
Talk us through the challenges of the race, mate, because there were a few occasions where you found yourself in the heat of battle. We look at the changing, evolving weather. It never fully drenched the circuit. It just made things a little bit slippery on a couple of different corners. And then a photo finish with Michael Adams, and you just held him off.
Yeah, he got past me with 1 lap to go. So after turn 1 was unsuccessful and lack of grip, sent me spinning the wrong way, losing out on that, losing out on the top 10. But yeah, I just stayed behind him and knew if I was behind him on the coming around the final corner and just timed it right. Got the draft. These cars are really good in the draft, and a fairly long run to the finish line, and it was, yeah, managed to hold 3rd gear for a little bit longer and get the run and get up the hill and finish just in front of him. But some of this other battling through this midfield was just absolute great fun. Just side by side, bit of rubbing, which was quite good. There was a couple of occasions where a spotter said clear and I moved over and it wasn't quite clear.
Indeed, and that's the unfortunate reality of communication sometimes. Sometimes it does give you a bum steer and lead you astray, but not to worry. Great to see you guys represented out there well in the Orbit Drop Bear stable. Jacko caught up in an incident, but at least he recovered to finish in the top 10, mate.
Yeah, he was looking at a podium there until the incident, the last 5 laps or so, but it's unfortunate. We continue on and we'll try and get these top 10 finishers going for the rest of the season and see how we end up at the end of the champs.
All right, very nicely done. Well done to you. What are your thoughts on next week? Because we go back to sprint racing next week, mate. But I would hazard a guess that it's a little bit more fraught with danger than a Brands Hatch is, because whilst Brands Hatch doesn't have much in the way of overtaking opportunities, Detroit doesn't have any margin for error. You make a mistake there, you're biting concrete.
Oh, that's yeah. Now this MX5 calendar, I'm just treating almost every round as a surprise and not looking at the calendar and just turn the PC on after work on Monday and going, oh, we're racing here. That's cool.
I hazard a guess that you're one of those guys that, I mean, there's a lot of people that would not appreciate that approach, that plan of attack, but are you one of those people that, you know, you can fly by the seat of your pants spontaneously on the cuff that way? And what sort of what's the word I'm looking for? What sort of
Preparation?
Well, no, not necessarily. Well, preparation's one word, but what? Yeah, I say, what sort of approach do you take to that when that is the plan of attack in terms of mindset and expectation?
Well, just having some fun, racing with some quality racers, and that's pretty much how I'm looking at it, and not really looking at positions or anything like that, just good battles and everything like that, and we should go right. And if everything goes like that for the remainder of the season, it'll be a great season.
Because I was going to say, it's very on par with Adam's brother Trent Lavis, my broadcast colleague here. His brother, very good at just rocking up, jumping in, doing a few laps, being on the pace and hitting the ground running, right? Not everybody can do that. There's a lot of people that rely on that.
I would say I'm pretty good at turning up and being about half a second off the pace, or a second off the pace, but I'll be on some sort of pace.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, psychological, I think is the word I was looking for. There's a lot of people that almost rely. It's part of their routine. They rely on that prep time. It's nice to have a chat to someone that can be a bit more spontaneous on that regard.
Yeah, I do spend all day in a truck dealing with traffic and all that kind of stuff. So
That's
get
overrated.
home. This is just a way to let loose, and nothing else matters. And as long as I don't have too many unforced errors and bowl a wide every now and then, everything goes pretty well. And if I keep that mindset, I don't get angry and I don't get upset with anything, and it doesn't destroy a night or destroy the next day or anything like that, because I'm not doing this as per se for the championship fight. I'm doing it for the fun, and you don't normally get MX5 races like this and the advanced or the rookies.
Yeah,
it's just a nice good group of people to race against and just good fun. It's basically all I'm treating it as. And if I want to do some practice, I'll do a little bit of practice, but I'll probably practice on a full wet or a full 50-degree track or anything like that, just to have a bit of slide and go sliding in this car effectively.
yeah. Well, I was going to say, we weren't even expecting, I certainly wasn't expecting whether or not that did catch us off guard, and there were a few people tripped up by that with regards to making the change to wet weather tyres that wasn't necessarily required in the end, wasn't the right way to go. And then, of course, I think everybody got tripped up by just how slippery it was at turn 1 there on the penultimate and also the last lap. But once you got through there on the penultimate lap, it kind of prepared you for the last lap. Everybody seated a bit more caution. Very good to see. Looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table when we get to Detroit, mate. Go well. Enjoy the rest of the week, and good luck to the stable in GT3 tonight as well.
Yeah, I don't even know. I think they're at VIR or something.
Yeah, they are. VIR,
some other track. I don't know. I'll leave them to that. And
it's not Ride America. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll leave them to that and see what they do.
I love it. Hey, well done. Great to catch up with you, mate. Well done again. Keep bagging those regular, consistent results, and hopefully it'll net a solid championship position at the end of the campaign in, what is it now, 7 weeks' time. Geez, that's starting to get by pretty quickly. It's starting to get away from us.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, lads.
From Taylor Oaks to a break, the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club across Facebook and YouTube. I had to pull myself back then because I'm only just now getting out of the habit of including another form of platform in there as well. This is Monday Night Motorsport with thanks to Waste Options. It is across those aforementioned platforms. It is made possible with thanks to the great people that continue to support this club, including naming rights sponsor of Monday Night Motorsport, Waste Options, our supercar naming rights sponsor, Trophy AI, our Porsche Cup naming rights sponsor, Pantech Industries. I've got that on the run sheet on both this week, so I'm happy about that. Sprite and Cider, of course, who look after the super formulas on a Friday night. Merch.tgsrci.com, who sponsor the great people at the NASCAR Gen 4 Cup. And, of course, Johnny Simpson and the team from Flash Graphics, with arguably the best logo of the lot, purely from a colour standpoint. We're going to a break. 4 different winners in 4 races to start the campaign. Andrew Dyson adds his name to the list. Let's wait and see what GT3 produces for you from VIR very shortly, remembering that it is the first of 4 sprint rounds in the campaign, which means we're bringing you the opening race from the AM split, the second race from the Pro split tonight, races 3 and 4 of that campaign, to complement race 4 of the Mazdas, and they're back next week from the streets of Detroit, Michigan. The old circuit on Belle Isle, not the new one, although it's only a matter of time, I'm sure, before iRacing gets skating away at that one, and probably the Mexican Grand Prix circuit as well, given where the NASCAR calendar is heading these days. And apparently they've got a new circuit to look at in San Diego as well. There was that arrival of the rain from earlier too, ladies and gentlemen. We've had great fun so far. We hope you've enjoyed it as well. Night 1 in Term 3's 3rd week, and we're only just getting started. Back with the AM split of GT3, our first look at them for this term in just a few moments. The platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club, Facebook and YouTube. Monday Night Motorsport. And this is week 3 of term 3, night 1 thereof. And we are at the Virginia International Raceway now for the second leg of our Monday Night Waste Options doubleheader, bringing you the third and fourth races of the GT3 campaign. First up, we will have you live coverage of the AM split, and we'll bring you the pro feature race. On the back end of that, the first race will be 21 minutes or the amount of laps, whichever comes first. The second race will be 37 minutes or the number of laps, whichever comes first. And the reason we say that is because of the threat of rain this evening. As you look in overhead at the VIR circuit now, 10 kilometre an hour winds. Actually, I'll update that in a moment because they're about to get a tweak with race 1 about to kick into full swing. 33 cars in the server tonight and on the grid representing 9 different manufacturers. The circuit is 5.22 kilometres, 19 degrees the ambient, and 20 on track. That might just be about to be updated for you, ladies and gentlemen. 5.22 kilometres this circuit at VIR in the United States. 43 now the ambient, 24 on, 43 now the track temperature, 24 the ambient. And we're looking at almost westerly winds at 16 kilometres an hour, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, July 20, 2025. Otherwise, partly cloudy conditions and no rain for this first race, but Adam Lavis, we believe there'll be some in the second.
Yeah, there's a fairly strong chance halfway through the second race we should see some showers. Probably a bit more than the one lap spurt we had in the MX5s, but we'll never know until see what the iRacing gods bring us.
There's the championship situation in the AM split so far. Brett Bradbury, 152 points. Dale Atkins, 131. Mitchell Buckman, 114. Quinton de Klerk, 109. Patrick Hernal, 99. Declan Norris, 97. Sam Woodhouse, Braden O'Loughlin, Martin Davis, and Terry Marsh make up the top 10. Interesting to note, 3 Mercs, 2 Porsches, 4 McLarens, and a Ford Mustang in that top 10 so far. And the grid for this opening race now, ladies and gentlemen, reflects the results of qualifying. Invert top 10 for that second race, of course. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the drier conditions as opposed to the slip and slide of the qualifying session. And Darren Shooter, the front row, alongside him is Brett Bradbury, 156.016, the standing time there. The fastest flying lap with those wet weather conditions in full swing. You saw them on your screen. Patrick Hernal and Terry Marsh, the second row. Quinton de Klerk, Mitchell Buckman, the third row. Greg Colgan and Braden O'Loughlin, the fourth. Declan Norris and Tim Watson from row 5. Row 6, Martin Pedersen and also Dale Atkins, Daniel Page and Garrick Nemeth from row 7, Adam Wright and Darren Miller from 8, Lachlan Shinkfield and Nathan Harvey from 9, the All Whiskey Business row. Then Lachlan Wegener and also Robert Colbreth from 10. A huge field of GT3 this season, ladies and gentlemen. This field ballooning, an enormous percentage term on term. They're lining up out the back door almost to join in the GT3 fold. Mark McNamara, Steve Harvey, Sam Woodhouse, Edward Rollo, and Michael Ladder and Barry Kluver, I should say. Martin Davis, Andrew Bailey, Janish Ragwani, Joe Hargraves. And then the back 3, Jordan Dackins on pit road, so too Dylan Woodbridge, but Jackson Fischler will line up from 31st. Should be interesting, Adam. Nice to see enormous numbers, enormous support in the GT3 fold, particularly surprising the number that we've got lining up on the AM grid.
Yeah, and as I said to the boys in the Discord last week, the fact that we've had 130 or something total drivers, and the top 90 of them are all within 2% of the thing, there's going to be some shuffling tonight after I finally get some numbers to crunch. So it'll be interesting to see who falls where after we do the resorting. Indeed.
Righto, so for a start at VIR, the first of 4 sprint rounds in the campaign for Waste Options GT3. Let's go in Virginia. Race 1 or 2 for the night. Races 3 and 4 of the championship. Big start from Brett Bradbury out the outside. Little bit of moving and shaking further back. 31 trying to get their way through the first corner. No Dylan Woodbridge, no Jordan Dakin. 31 starters. Darren Shooter leads the field safely away. Cleanly through that first sequence of corners. so far. Don't hold your breath, though. There's a long way to go. It's a long circuit, too. McLaren 1, 2, 3. 9 different manufacturers represented in this field. The only one missing, Lamborghini. Again, I'm not sure what it is about the Lambo, but there doesn't seem to be a terrible amount of love for it on the platforms of the GSRC. Shooter, Bradbury, Hernal, Marsh, Buckman, Norris, de Klerk, Colgan, O'Loughlin. There goes Declan Norris. The Mustang bites the dust. Hernal goes as well. 2 contenders tripping up on the opening lap. Hernal's going to drop 3 spots. And now we'll be under pressure from Colgan down the back straight. Colgan couldn't get the run. Side by side further back. You've got Declan Norris trying to get back down the inside of Martin Pedersen. And everybody, with the exception of those 2 off-track runs, those little grass clips out of play, but everybody safely away, which is what we like to see.
Indeed, it's always good to see the boys get away cleanly.
One lap in the books. Now, heat 1 is listed for 20... Oh, hang on. 23 minutes is on the clock for heat 1. It used to be 21. So I've been tripped up there, haven't I? Copy. So we've got an extra 2 minutes. How many laps is this one meant to be, Adam? No? Okay, copy that. So it won't run 23 minutes. Does that shortchange us somewhere else in the server though for these guys for the end?
No, it's just there was a glitch. There's some glitch on the web UI where it was showing the sprints wrongly, and I was trying to fix it today, and yeah, I must have pushed the wrong button.
Copy. Interesting. Oh dear. Now, race 1 was listed as 12 laps, race 2 listed as 21. So make note of that if you're following along and going to plan on joining us for the Pro Split race a little bit later on, folks. Shooter the leader, Bradbury 2nd, Marsh is 3rd, de Klerk is 4th, Buckman is 5th, Hernal is 6th, Colgan 7th. The 2 forwards, Norris and Pedersen arguing over 9th and 10th at the moment. Down the back straight we go. It's a long roller coaster sort of back straight here at the VIR circuit. Shooter and Bradbury, Marsh, de Klerk, Hernal, Buckman. Hernal down 2 spots as a result of that mistake early on in the piece. Already to pit lane went Barry Kluver. Jackson Fischler had to go to pit lane. So too did Sam Woodhouse. They've both rejoined the circuit. Oh, Wegener's gone. The Audi, the only Audi in the field, has had a moment. And Jackson Fischler's up the road again too. Wegener's tripped up down the back straight, I reckon, and rejoined, but he's dropped all the way down from 19th to 28th. We'll have a look at a replay for you in just a moment. There will be a few replays here from Adam Lavis once we can get those files up and running for you. There they are. This is what happened. Oh no, Jackson Fischler. Oh no, before we even got to the line. So we missed that because we were following 31 cars into turn 1. 3 didn't make it. This was Kluver coming through that in that little infield section at the end of the lap. Oh, exit stage left and into the wall big time. Clout the tyres. And that was a big exit for Jackson Fischler. His race done. Hopefully he'll stay there and reset and try and go again in race 2. De Klerk fourth at the moment, arguing with Terry Marsh. So you got two McLarens, then you got two Mercedes entries, Shield Coat versus DK here, and 4 of a second covering them. Now, when we look at the championship standings, and we did that at the start of the broadcast, folks, it was interesting to note that De Klerk's running fourth at the moment, and Marsh is running down in 10th. Marsh has a little bit of catching up to do, but that's on the back of 20th in round 1 and only 9th last week. So this is his best run of the season so far by far. Maybe a beneficiary of the wet, dry, damp sort of qualifying session that we had there, maybe not. Shooter, Bradbury, then Marsh, De Klerk, Ernal, Buckman, Colgan, then O'Loughlin, Patterson, Page, then Shinkfield, Watson down to 12th at the moment. Big movers so far include Shinkfield and McNamara, both +6. Make it +7 now for Shinkfield going into 10th. Next target for him is Patterson. Off the road and gone is Colgan. Greg Colgan down the order to 9th on the back of a little bit of a cross-country excursion. Patterson moves to 8th on that note. Shinkfield to 10th. And Daniel Page is keeping him company. Brett Bradbury fastest lap of the race, 146.677. Jackson Fischler still showing on pit road. Barry Kluber's come back out on the track a lap down. Sam Woodhouse is still half a lap down on the leaders. And Shooter's lead is only half a second on Bradbury. Bradbury's been impressive so far this season. 2 round wins to his name. Going out in pursuit of a 3rd race win to remain undefeated in this series. But Darren Shooter's not going to make life easy for him. And nor should he. Great to see Brett Bradbury stringing the results together though, Adam.
Yeah, Brett, I think he's had 2 wins so far. He's been a dominant man in Amsterdam so far. So
he's running Dench-like numbers. It's great.
Yep, I hope it'd be interesting to see if he's doing that consistency. But if he's doing it on pace, he might find himself in the wrath of mix-up, because as I said, it's very, very close. But we'll have to see how we go. And but yeah, he's definitely having a good season so far.
Indeed. Off track goes Dale Atkins, just as we're saying that, so he's going to lose a couple of spots now. Nathan Harvey will get by. Mark McNamara now the next target. Mark McNamara, the next one that Atkins has got to worry about. Atkins is his next target. Nemeth and also Miller in there behind, or that might be Nemeth, actually, to be fair. Nemeth, Nemeth. Although when I say that, I feel as though I should have a silent K and a second D in there. We'll sort that one out. That's Garrick, of course, down there, 1-2-2 in position 17. And that's the other double-edged sword here, folks. This is Adam and my initiation to several new names and drivers and liveries and teams and whatever else. Such has been the increase in grid numbers and memberships. A lot of people arriving during the mid-year break, the semester break. Which is a good thing for the club. No shortage of participants, no shortage of competitors. Keeps us on our toes. But yes, usually for me at least, seeing them on the track for the first time, seeing them on the totems pole and timing screen for the first time is my introduction to them. So Martin Pedersen now off the road for the second time, by the way, gets back on, but has dropped to 9th spot as a result. Greg Colgan gets on by. Down the back straight again. So lap 6 is what we're circling at the moment. Patrick Hernal having a bit of a lonely run there. He's got Buckman for company, but he's also got breathing space. Nothing in the way of positional battles forming here, except for Greg Colgan. Colgan's under pressure after an earlier mistake. He's got Lachlan Shinkfield, Martin Pedersen, and also Daniel Page the company now. That's Porsche and Acura, a Ford, and a Chev. Bang! Oh, wow! All three of them! Lucky not to be all. Off the road we go! That was Garrick Nemeth down the order. And he took the company of Janesh Ragwani, I'm pretty sure. And it might have been Darren Miller in the Porsche as well. That was a battle outside the top 20. We'll get a replay of that for you in a moment. Miller on pit road, Nemeth on pit road. Meanwhile, at the front, Brett Bradbury has his hands full trying to find a way by Darren Shooter. Shooter trying to bring an end to Brett Bradbury's winning run. Terry Marsh has got Quinton de Klerk for covered as well, and de Klerk has the fastest lap of the race, 1:46.527. So therefore, this race is all of a sudden picking up in intensity and alive and well at the front of the field. Finally, it's been a little bit tame the first 6 laps. That they're finally getting into it. Getting stuck into the whole premise of the caper in the first place. Because there's a difference between driving the race car and actually racing it. That was the crash. Bang! Nemeth. Wipeout. Who did he have for company there? Was I right with it being Ragwani and the Porsche?
It's Joe Hargraves.
Hargraves it was. I knew it was a Whiskey Business Centre. I just couldn't pick up which one. So it was Joe Hargraves. And even that made even more difficult by the fact that they're 170 and 160 and both running a McLaren and both running for the same team. Brett Bradbury trying to get by Shooter, can't do it. Shooter leads to turn 1 on lap number 8. Bradbury with the tight exit. Oh, Bradbury with the tight exit's going to get the job done. Brett Bradbury finds his way to the front and takes the lead here at VIR. Oh, that is brilliant. And off goes Martin Pedersen again. Third excursion off the circuit for Pedersen in this race. Oh boy. Bloody happening here. Darlakin's going to 14th. Got through on the inside. Cleanly. Got by Nathan Harvey. Hedge your bets, folks. There's plenty happening here. Remember, top 10 invert, Daniel Page, Ratbag Racing. His teammate is in the battle for the lead. He's sitting there in 10th place with his hands on the invert pole. Plus 3 gains so far. Positions gained, plus 11. Plus 11 for Martin Davis, the 36 Porsche. No one else near that at this point. Jackson Fischler still sitting on pit road. Barry Kluber got back out there. After 6.25 laps, he's still showing the better part of a lap and a half down after 25 seconds on pit road. 1:07 for Garrick Nemeth, but he did get back out there as well. Miller and Woodhouse came to pit lane, grabbed their fast repairs, pressed back on. They're still ahead of Luke Wegener. And the rest of the field unscathed, relatively speaking, so far. 4 laps to go. Brett Bradbury's found his way to the front, looking to go 3 from 3. Quinton de Klerk holding off third at the moment, having got there ahead of Terry Marsh in the first place. And Patrick Hernal and Mitchell Buckman are there for company. So you got 3 different manufacturers, you've got 4 different teams in this mix. You've got 2 Mercs, a McLaren and a Porsche. And you've got the Porsche of Buckman with the fastest lap of the race at 1:46.282. This is a battle that's alive and well. To the back straight we go once more. So battles for first and third raging at the moment. 4 cars in the mix for third, 2 in the mix for first. We've picked up Quinton de Klerk here for DK Racing. Still looking the goods. Lap 9 of 12. We are expecting rain in the second race. There's an 80% chance of it, I'm reliably informed. We will bring you the pro race from VIR as soon as we're done here with the AM race, and there are 3 laps to go. So 3/4 race distance now. And I've finally finished the coffee that I started to consume at the beginning of the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just grab a top up of the liquid variety to lubricate the tonsils out of the fridge, and we'll press on. The beauty of having the wireless headset care of the great people at Logitech too, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Hall and his team, is that I can move about the room a little bit more freely than what I ever used to be able to do so for sim racing commentary. Used to be tethered to cable and wire. Oh, that reduces the fun a little bit. At lap 10 of 12, we've got a big week coming up. A bit of a question mark next to Wednesday night for you. We're hoping that we'll be able to bring that one to you, even though our regular main man there, Dan Yeaman's not available. That's a bit of breaking news off the top. Joe and I will be here on Friday night. Matt Chicken Schnitty Schmidtke will be here Thursday night with me as well. And I'm sparing a thought for his hearing on Thursday night, Adam Lavis. Sparing a thought for it already. The V's at Phillip Island, followed by the Porsches from Mount Panorama. His ears are in trouble on Thursday night. Not at least anybody tuning in right around Australia as well. Turn your volume down before we get going Thursday night, maybe 10 or 20%. Lap 10. Hey, this is a cracking scrap, but the time is running out for Terry Marsh to find his way by on Quinton de Klerk, Hernal and Buckman, Ben O'Loughlin, Schinkfeld, Colgan and Page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What have we got in the top 10? We've got, I reckon, five different manufacturers. Corvette, Porsche, Acura, McLaren and Mercedes. 2 Mercs, 4 McLarens, 2 Porsches, Corvette and an Acura. Not bad. The first of the Ferraris is 11th, the first of the Fords is 13th. Ooh. And that is a brilliant bit of driving from Terry Marsh to set up Quinton de Klerk. De Klerk compromised his run through that sequence of corners and given Marsh a bit of a sniff. 0.4 the margin, and he'll be in the slipstream when they get to the back straight. Marsh trying to set this one up. The Klerk had the better of the run so far, the better run of the mill. Now they're heading towards that double right-hander at the end of the first sequence of the circuit, the first sector. Now the open throttle of the back straight. Can Terry Marsh get the run on? No, de Klerk has got the better of him. De Klerk got the run onto the back straight. Now Marsh actually finds himself under pressure. 1 minute he's eyeing off third. The next he's trying to defend fourth because here comes Patrick Hernal to the outside. In fact, it'll be 2 for the price of 1. That might be a slowdown for Marsh because there goes Mitchell Buckman as well. Marsh has been swamped and doubled up. And now all of a sudden finds himself in 6th. White flag in the air for Brett Bradbury. One more time around here at VIR in race 1 of round 3 of the championship. Let's go. Marsh to pit lane. Marsh to pit lane. How does that happen in a sprint race?
He might have instant points possibly.
Wowee. That's disappointing for him. That all of a sudden means that Adam Wright in the Ferrari is going to make it 6 different manufacturers in the 10, and he's staring down the invert. Daniel Page had his hands on it. He's now looking at P2 for the invert. 146.154. Mitchell Buckman again punches out the fastest lap of the race. Just improvement, inch by inch, lap after lap, all night long from him. It's been fantastic. Bradbury, Shooter, de Klerk, Hernal, Buckman and O'Loughlin, the top 6. Schinkfeld up 10 spots to 7th. And Hernal under pressure here from Buckman. De Klerk has bolted. De Klerk now with 3rd. Safe and secure, has bolted 1.9 to the good. Meanwhile, at the front, The 65 of Brett Bradbury is on his way home. One last roll of the dice for Darren Shooter. Here we go. Bradbury, Shooter, De Klerk, Hernal, Buckman, O'Loughlin and Shinkfield the top 7. Colgan, Page and Wright the top 10. Round onto the main straight. Lap traffic hopefully won't balk them here. No, it moves out of the road to one side, comes to pit lane. Checkered flags, he's going to be out and in the air and waving in the direction of Brett Bradbury. 3 from 3 to start the season in Waste Options GT3M. Luke Wegener was the one of the drivers that came to pit lane. Jackson Fischler managed to get back out there. No, actually, no, that's not correct. He didn't. Wegener was the one that came to pit lane on the run to the checkered flag. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for a drive-through, it looks like, and has come back out and finished a lap down. Rollo, Miller, Woodhouse also had to transit the lane at some point. Kluver got home a lap down. Nemeth will be not classified 5 laps down, and Fischler not classified 10 laps down. Terry Marsh goes to pit lane again. It goes from bad to worse for him. There's photos all round here, folks. Have a look at them. Bradbury, Shooter, De Klerk, held off Hernal. Hernal got the better of Buckman. Buckman got the fastest lap of the race. 10 positions gained for Shinkfield, 13 for Davis, 10 for Ladder, 12 for Hargraves. I think, therefore, give it to Martin Davis. No one will have more positions gained than that. And unfortunately, it just goes from bad to worse for Terry Marsh. He has yet to get to the line, and he will therefore potentially here drop to position number 27. He will. So he drops out of the points before he gets to cross the finish line. He'll cover off Wegener, who was a lap down. But Marsh will now cross the line and finish 27th. Wowee, holy cow. Game-changing moment as far as this championship is concerned. Nobody stopping Brett Bradbury at the moment. From Shooter to Klerk, Hernal, Buckman, O'Loughlin. Then Shinkfield, Page, Wright. Timmy Watson, our good mate, from 10th on the grid, finishes 10th, goes into the invert pole. So there was a bit of drama on that final lap that allowed Timmy Wright to jump up to 10th. I think Martin Pedersen had another excursion. He had 3 or 4 of them throughout the course of the night. Atkins, Harvey, Davis, Ladder, Colbreth, McNamara, Hargraves, Rograni, and Colgan was up there early in the piece before getting caught up in an incident as well. Over the page if we can, please, Adam. 21st down through the end of the order. Well, we've already covered the back end of it. Everyone from Nemeth down not classified or didn't even start. Kluver, Wegener and Marsh classified a lap down. That just leaves Norris from Bailey, from Woodhouse, Miller, Rollo, and as we said, Marsh. Oh boy, that's disappointing for him. Rollo in 26th place. Norris, Bailey, Harvey, Woodhouse, Miller and Rollo made up the field. Oh boy. So there you have it. The AM races run and won. Brett Bradbury, what he can do in the 60-minute and the endurance races here on a Monday night. He can do in the sprints as well. How will he go from 10th on the grid? We'll tell you a little bit later on this evening. Also, we'll have the results from the Pro-Am sprint and feature from VIR. Next, we will have the feature race live, loud, exclusive and free. All 37 minutes of it from VIR race 4 of the campaign as round 3 continues in Waste Options GT3 Pro here on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club. All made possible with thanks to Waste Options, Trophy II, Pantech Industries, Sprite Insider, merch.tgsrc.inc and Flash Graphics. We're live, exclusive and free across Facebook and YouTube. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we're enjoying bringing it to you. The McLaren of Brett Bradbury on top here in the AM split. We'll run you through qualifying and the results from race 1 from the Pro Split in just a few moments and bring you race 2 in full and uninterrupted live. Don't go away. We had about 31 cars on the grid in Waste Options GT3 AM. We got about 32 if my calculations are serving me well enough here in Waste Options GT Pro, GT3 Pro. So, well, actually, it might actually be 31 again. So very consistent numbers across the board, whichever way you look at it here on the platforms. The Gentleman Sim Racing Club across Facebook, Twitch and YouTube. Welcome to Leg 3 of our Monday Night Motorsport offering for you here. Night 1, Week 3, Term 3, 2025. A return to VIR, but the rains are coming. In the same way that they ventured to Road America earlier in the evening, we're expecting some wet weather here in this second race of round 3 of the championship. Part 2 of the main course on your Monday night. The first of 4 sprint rounds in the campaign. Race 4 of 14 in the championship. 2:49 local server time here as we approach the end of the warm-up. Let's not worry about that just at this second. 5.22 kilometres the course length here. The same layout as what we saw in the AM split race for race 1. The qualifying results, the championship points firstly. Sean Campbell saying to everybody, catch me if you can. And just having a look through the grid here, their chance to catch him is now because he's not on the grid tonight. Lewis Great had 127 points second in the points race, 119 for Harrison Lewis, Jacob O'Reilly 116, 106 for Ryan Badass, then Richard Mitchum 97, 95 for Jeremy Washington, 95 for Wayne Hewitt, 74 for Jackson Rayhana, and Daniel Poulton on 73 points. They make up the top 10 for you. Of course, Campbell has locked out the first 2 rounds of the season thus far. Sammy Sutton, the fastest in qualifying here by a good nearly half a second on Marcus Watson. Sam Blacklock, we'll come back to that, was third. Harrison Lewis, Orbit dropped there 1, 3, and 4. Then Andrew Dyson, Adam Hayne, Harry Lawrence, Brad Ratu. Then you go back to Eli Donaldson and Dylan Shepherd, the top 10. Half a second, Semi on the pack. Let's have a look here at the results from race 1. Sutton backed it up. Got the job done ahead of Blacklock, Lewis. Orbit dropped there 1, 2, 3. Badass in 4th. Dyson, Lawrence, Donaldson. Then Wayne Hewitt up to 8th. 9th for Jackson Rayhana and 10th for Dane Stratton. Gets the invert pole. 4.7 the winning margin for Semi Sutton. Okay, so what that means now for race 2 is look at that. Server settings, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Local server time there in Virginia. The weather, we're reliably informed, is coming from the southwest, so keep an eye out for that. 17-kilometre-an-hour winds from a northwesterly direction to complement that, if you don't mind. 29 degrees the ambient, 42 on track, dry at the moment, 52% humidity, but no rain around just yet. We are reliably informed it's on its way, though. Grid, Dane Snadden, Jackson Rayhana, Wayne Hewitt, Eli Donaldson, Harry Lawrence, Andrew Dyson, Ryan Bettis, Harrison Lewis, and Sam Blacklock and Sam Sutton make up the top 5 rows on the grid. There are 2 cars not starting, Miles Burgess and Geordie Pugh sitting on pit lane at the moment. So we're down to 29. Michael Nick Rantz, and Angus Cook from row 6, James Parker, Marcus Watson from 7. Not sure what happened there for Watto to end up that far outside his qualifying position. Dylan Shepherd, Josh Horton from 8, Nick Wood, Andrew Neal from 9, Jeremy Washington and Reece Brakefield from 10. From 11, it's Jacob O'Reilly and Miles Burgess. We've already told you, it's not on the grid. There's 29 here on the grid. Jared Knight, Adam Chiplin, John Wright, Vinnie Newen, Daniel Cheney, Adam Hayne, Bradley Ratu, and Jackson Pringle, will make up this field. No Pugh, no Burgess. There's the rain radar. It's not there yet, but there's a 100% chance that it will be in half an hour. Hello, Adam Davis.
Is it going to do it to us again? Bastard thing.
Possibly. It could possibly be about to do it to us again. Ready for a start. Race 2. Dane Snadden doesn't muck around. He hits the gas and gets going. There were 4 cars with 2 wheels in the grass as we got the green flag at VIR. Racing in round 3, race 2 of the championship, race 4 of the campaign. Down the outside goes Jackson Rayhana on Donaldson in turn 1. On Snadden rather. Trouble further back. Cars caught up. And Nick Wood and Wayne Hewitt, 2 of them that happened to be tripped up by all of that, taking evasive action. Miles Burgess joins in from the back of the field. Daniel Cheney, the other one, off track as well. Wayne Hewitt losing out early on, so too Harry Lawrence. And in the meantime, Madden has held his advantage. Race 2 of round 3 underway. Race 4 of the campaign. Ford leads McLaren, Ford, Porsche, 2 Ferraris and a Acura. Another McLaren. Then, of course, a Merc and another McLaren making up the top 10. So what's that? 1, 2, 3 McLarens, 2 Ferraris, 2 Fords, a Porsche and a Acura and a Mercedes in the top 10. Wide coming onto the back straight there was, I think it might have been Andrew Dyson with 2 wheels out there after a very impressive performance earlier in the Mazda MX5. We'll wait and see what he brings to the table here in GT3. But great to see the Mustang up front. Dane Snadden leading the field halfway through the opening lap. As far as this field spread is concerned, there's also BMWs out there tonight, but no love in this server for the Audi, no love for the Corvette, and no love for the Lamborghini. So the absence of our championship leader really noticeable with no Corvette Chevy on the grid this evening. And that 25-point lead that he had coming into this round might actually be safe with no Lewis Greathead, but it depends on what Harrison Lewis can do from 33 points down throughout this race. Sam Sutton getting hung out to dry there at the start of the second lap, and Angus Cook trying to displace him, but no, Cook ends up being displaced. James Parker down there on his inside contact, and Cook will get it back. Cook will hold on for now to position number 12. Harrison Lillis sitting in 6th place at the moment, needs to bag some handy championship points. He is to lead here as the championship leader this evening. No Jacob O'Reilly in this grid, no Lewis Greathead, no Sean Campbell either. So some real genuine contenders not in the mix. Dylan Shepherd parked up and done on the opening lap. Jackson Pringle on the tow rope on the second lap. Now down the inside. Actually, yes. Hello, Lewis Greathead. Where the bloody hell are you, please? I'm reading your name in the championship listings and you're in our comment section. What's going on? What's doing? Blacklock under pressure here. Bettis and Ray Harner are side by side down the back straight. It's a Mustang 1-2. Dyson had got by and Snutton sits there in the lead position. Not feeling too flash, says Louis. Feel better soon, mate. We need to see back on the grid from a competitive standpoint, a competition standpoint. And good, better value for money for you, really, to be fair, if you're out there rather than watching on from the sideline, as far as you can proceed with that. Onto the main straight we go. 2 laps gone. When does the rain hit VIR? That's the question everybody's asking here. Will we see it, or will it go around us like it did last week? 3 wide and 1. Oh, ho, ho! Look at the long gap that's about to unfold here. Dyson holds on to second. Blacklock is third. There goes Sam Sutton. It was eventually bound to happen. Oh, Ray Harner's gone. Ray Harner's out of it. Bang! Got pointed back in the right direction by Nick Wooding. It's about to get swamped. Ray Harner plummets outside the top 20. Maybe it's already slippery at VIR.
I think it's gone bad for someone because Angus has been knocked back as well. He was just in the top 10. Now he's back outside, back at the end of the top 20.
Is it actually going to rain? That is the question on everybody's lips. We're waiting for it. 100% chance, we're told. Maybe the Bureau is going to get it wrong again. But it's already been shaken up nicely, the pecking order in this race. So even without the weather, we've got plenty of action, plenty of spice, plenty of substance here, plenty of talking points to work with. Snadden, Dyson's caught Snadden. Blacklock, Donaldson, Lewis, Watson up to 6th already. Great comeback from Marcus, up 8 spots. Josh Horton's followed him through to 7th, up 9 spots. Then Bettis, then Nick Grant, then Parker. Jacob O'Reilly is up 10 spots, so he's doing himself every favour in the world to try and get back in the championship fight. He's second to Harrison Lillis at the moment of those that are on the grid this evening. They'll catch Greathead, but it's a matter of whether they'll reel in the deficit to Campbell. Greathead dropping around tonight. Yeah, exactly. Don't have another V8 Pro. Scott, your commentator over there, Scotty Rankin, was only moaning and whinging about that in the Master MX5 race at Road America earlier. So that was what happened. Wayne Hewitt was caught up at the start. Have we had any one pull the pin? Yeah, Jackson Pringle. It looks as though he's pulled the pin already. Dylan Shepherd's retired. Reese Wakefield, Jackson Ray Harner on the tow rope and on pit lane. Adam Hayne is the last of the runners at the moment. Important to note too, Adam Levis, they don't have a fast repair here, do they? So if they're on pit road for damage, they're there until it's fixed.
Yeah, so that's just, I think this will be what's giving him the damage, I think.
And he's still tuning into it. Oh, crunch. Armco, that'll be the damage. And Pringle. There we go. Hey, don't worry. If it doesn't rain here, I'll be joining the chorus. I'll be with Rankin.
Oh, who's that?
That was Angus Cook.
No, I'm trying to work out which whiskey business car that was that came out of nowhere.
Well, that's a fair point. I reckon Angus will be trying to figure that one out as well. Jeez.
That's
Andrew Neil. Here. Watch Andrew Neil with the big sand. Oh, no. Oh, so Neil's got into the bimmer. Now, I'm just trying to work out, was that Jacob O'Reilly that he got into the Seidel and then got into Cook? Oh, dear. Here's Jackson Rayhana. Now, this was just a knock-on effect. He got a helping hand, but there was a knock-on effect from the checkup that we had at Turn 1 with everybody just arriving on scene and having nowhere to go. And it was just clunky and messy. And Rayhana eventually, the unlucky, unfortunate one. In all of that, there goes Adam Hine. Caught the ripple strip. Into the grass. Goodbye. And that will be salvageable, retrievable, because he didn't get the wall. He did not pull it up. Here's Eli Donaldson now. Under pressure from Harrison Lillis. Blacklock has caught Dyson and Snadden, and it's a racing three at the front, but these guys are just easing into it. They're rolling through the punches, the motions at the moment because they're aware that the rain is coming. The radar and everything points towards rain, so you don't want to pull the trigger here.
Not the radar yet. The radar's still not showing us nothing.
No, not the radar. It's probably just going to all of a sudden appear out of nowhere like a lightning flash. It'll just flop and go. Thank you, O'Reilly. Fastest of the race in the Bimmer, 1:45.754. Here goes Andrew Dyson on the inside of Dane Snadden for the lead. Snadden will force the issue and try and fight back. Can't do it. Won't be able to. Dyson goes through. Dyson goes to the front. Dyson now looking to get his second race win of the night. He's sitting 7th, 8th in the standings here. 7th in round 1. Didn't race last week. What a way to arrive back on scene. Up from 6th on the grid. 5th time in race 1. Around the outside of Snadden goes Sam Blacklock. That's a big step if he can pull it off. He's not able to do so. He tucks back in and follows through, but he'll now know that Dyson is, the benchmark. He's the target. So he will be the pace setter, and he will be the one that you want to go with the map. You will need to try and find a way past Dane Snadden. The onus will be on him to do so very quickly. That helps because Snadden puts 2 wheels in the grass, and Blacklock goes through, and Snadden actually has put more than 2 wheels in the grass. Snadden is plummeting down the order. Dane Snadden's charge at the front is done. Still off the road, Dane Snadden rejoins in 15th. Oh boy. So unlucky for the Whiskey Business entry. High stakes at the front of the field. You would argue that it is Whiskey Business. And now he's slipping and sliding all over the place without the help of H2O. Have a look at this. So did he get a helping hand, or was this all self-inflicted?
Curb.
You would say, yeah, it's the curb. It's all self-inflicted from there.
And it's got a death wobble.
Yeah, just could not straighten it up. Was a passenger. Wild ride for Dane Snadden. Drops down outside the top 15, down to 21st position. And that is a costly blow. It's advantage Sam Blacklock, Eli Donaldson, and everybody else trying to go with Andrew Dyson, though, because they now don't have to navigate their way past Dane Snadden. Dyson's lead is only half a second. Ford, Ferrari, and then McLaren top 3. The first of the Mercs is 5th, the first of the Porsches is 7th, the first of the Acuras is 8th, and the first of the Bimmers is 10th. BMW, Mercedes, Acura, Porsche. The first of the Porsches is 7th. Wowee. McLaren, Ferrari, Ford, 7 different manufacturers in the top 10 at the moment. Thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen. There are only 7 different manufacturers in the race. We haven't got an Audi, we haven't got a Lambo, we haven't got a Chev tonight. 7 different manufacturers on the grid, and all of them in the top 10, featuring prominently at the moment. 1:45.653 for Ryan Bettis, the fastest time of the race for OPR. Holy cow, there's a lot going on all of a sudden at VIR. So, going back to where we were before all hell broke loose with Dane Snadden, right? Jared Knight off the road. Unlucky. Did so well in the Mazda MX5 race. No luck here, and he's not the only one. He's got a little bit of company there in the form of a Whiskey Business Century Racing, I think.
John Wright, I think.
John Wright, you are right. 100% spot on, Adam Lavis. Well played. Daniel Cheney's just navigated his way by him. 90 rejoins in 20th. Wright in 19th. This is how it happened. Uh-oh. Wright, he's going to have nowhere to go. Bang. Wright has then tried to No, it wasn't. Yeah, there it was there. So there was a Whiskey Business Racing entry getting into the night.
That was Andrew
That
Neal
might have
again.
been Andrew Neal. Neely's in trouble. Yeah, okay, Knight was slipping, and that's checked Neely up, but Neely's just, not helped the cause. He said, "You're already slipping, let me finish the job for you." And then Johnny Wright's come through and had nowhere to go. Down the inside goes Harrison Lewis on Eli Donaldson. Job done. Marcus Watson's going to follow him through as well. Watson to fourth. Up 10 spots already. Now, this brings me back to the point. Watch Marcus Watson trying to play his hand. He's so good in the open wheelers. He's faultless in Super Formula One and bloody IndyCar as well.
Harrison
right operator there. Copy that, Adam Lavis. Thank you. I was getting to it. There's so much going on here tonight. But it's nice to now see Brian Stratton having a crack at the tin tops as well. Harrison Lewis, Blinky building up, will be off-putting to Marcus Watson. Donaldson, Horton and Bettis are there for company as well. You've got a four-way fight for third right now. And you've got some of the great names of the club and some of the prominent races of the sim racing landscape in Australia and New Zealand, and the teams that they represent, front and centre right here and now. DPR Racing's Andrew Dyson leads the way, 0.8 to Sam Blacklock. Willis is another second back. Watson, Donaldson, Horton, Bettis, Ninkrans. And then O'Reilly and Park at the top 10. Bradley Ruddle up 18 spots already in the Ferrari and on a charge. But they're all playing the long game here, Adam Lavis. Exactly how late in this race can they leave it to pull the trigger? How late can they leave it to pull the pit lane? How long do they wait for the weather to take hold and make its mark on this thing?
Well, they're probably got about 10 to 15 minutes of fuel. We should be able to actually check the radar now.
Here it is. For those who are tuning in at home.
So again, there was a 17% of 15. It's always been 100% at 73.30. So we'll have to check it again. Hopefully there's something coming, but the race only goes to 3:42, 3:45.
Josh Horton all over the place, slipping and sliding through turn one, Adam Lavis, and he's going to lose out to Eli Donaldson. His teammate goes around the outside, then nearly puts two wheels in the dirt. They've got Ryan Bettis working all over him like a cheap suit right now. Lap 9 of 21 at VIR. This thing is alive and well. Now it's sort of a roadblock forming for Ryan Bettis because Donaldson and Horton are playing the defence game, trying to keep him at bay. The attrition rate on pit lane 2, by the way, boys, Jesus. Dylan Shepherd out, Jackson Pringle out, Reese Wakefield out, Jackson Rayhana done. Might get classified on 75%, let alone anything else. On pit road and done. Dane Snadden, a lap down, out of business. Angus Cook stopped on lap 6. He's praying for no rain to get him through to the end. He's gone the reverse strat. It could be a gamble that doesn't pay off. I think he might have had to have come in and attended to a potential small amount of damage for the incident at turn 1 that he was caught up in. That might have, swayed his strategy. That might have called the shots for him instead of him getting to have a say in the matter. Dyson, Blacklock, Lillis. The Orbit Drop Bear stable working. They're probably not going to have the success rate that they did in race 1 unless Bradley Ratto and Sam Sutton can get up there in a right royal hurry. They locked out the podium in race 1. Sam Sutton, this invert hasn't necessarily gone to his liking so far. It worked in his favour. Down 3 spots on where he started. The big mover is his teammate Bradley Ratto up 18 spots. The next big mover is Jacob O'Reilly up 12 and Vinnie Newen up 11. We're right on board with Ryan Bettis now. There's nothing on the windscreen right now. Nothing. Yet the windscreen wipers were working. How good is this? How good is this? This is a big opportunity for Ryan Bettis. He's run out of real estate. He had no room there. I'm sure he had two wheels in the grass. Down the back straight. The defensive line, driven beautifully by Josh Horton, keeps him at bay a little longer. At one point or another here, Ryan Bettis is going to be a little bit frustrated, you would imagine. And look at the defence work down the main straight. Josh Horton is saying to him, if you want to get by me, you better be prepared to go the long way round, son. No, instead he actually opens the door and invites Bettis down the inside. Bettis accepts the invitation. Ryan Bettis puts his nose in front, goes to P6. The Vermilion stable put up as going on to the fence to make good. But the wall has been cracked. And the guard has been dropped. Dyson, Blacklock, Watson, Lillis, Donaldson and Bettis the top 6. Horton, Linkgrant, then O'Reilly, Parker, Rathville and Washington the top 12 here at the moment. Then you go back to Sutton, Neal, Newen and Wood. I'm not sure. Neal might have a couple of cases to answer for post-race. I'm sure we'll find out eventually. In the meantime, Dane Snadden still showing a lap down. No change at the bottom end of town. No pit stops just yet either. Everybody playing that long game. Waiting, watching, listening. Everybody on the edge of their seat here. Nerves of steel, pressure mounting, tension building. Oh, it's good stuff on a Monday night. And we're at half race distance at VIR. Don't forget, back with you Wednesday night, folks. Liam Banks and TBC here with you. By TBC, I mean someone's going to draw the short straw to deputise for Dan Yeaman. Wednesday night motorsport across Facebook and YouTube. Of course, the supercars will be back in action, and that's going to be a great degree of fun for them in the main course slot. They're off to Road America as well. Maybe they'll get the rain that Scotty Rankin was waiting for. And then off to Talladega Super Speedway in the entree slot for the Gen 4 NASCARs. Thursday night, 3 Formula V races from Phillip Island and then 60 minutes of Porsches from Mount Panorama. My voice box might not last Thursday night, just to put it out there. Bang, down the inside, Vinnie Newen got the job done, and then immediately the door was open for Andrew Neal to try and get back around him, but he couldn't do it. Now Neal needs to get across and cover off Nick Wood. Friday night, Formula Ford from Phillip Island as well, so that might just finish off the voice box actually, before we then bring you the Super Formula Series from the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. So an enormous week of racing ahead here, and we're looking forward to it immensely. Bettis. Oh, replay, hang on. This is Ryan Bettis making the move and going through to P5. So he's got through. He's got great pace. The Porsche has. Yeah. No rain in session has been selected, so the rain might just keep dropping to 0 every increment. Yeah, righto. So that will be interesting if no rain has been selected in the session. It'll end up being an anticlimactic sort of affair. Thanks, Benny, for the intel. Now, where are we here? We've got Andrew Neal in 15th still. Leaders have completed 12 laps. We're exactly where we were after race 1. We're at the end of lap 12, start of lap 13. Dyson leads it from Blacklock, Watson, Lillis, then Bettis, Donaldson and Horton. 5 different manufacturers in the top 7, 7 in the top 10. Parker has got himself up in a 10th spot. Radu was 11th and looming large, ready to pounce. It'll be 3 Ferraris in the 10 if he can get in there. And 3 all but dropped their entries, coincidentally enough. Grants and Parker. O'Reilly in the BMW. 8th at this point. Yeah, exactly, Louis. Not what any of us would have wanted. So it doesn't look like we've got any rain on the way, which is disappointing. We did have, there was a 100% chance according to the radar, according to the weather outlook on the iRacing server. It may not come to pass. And our admin staff will go back to the drawing board to try and fix the problem and try and resolve it for another round later in the season. Correct, Willie. So yeah, Phillip Island Thursday night, Mount Panorama to follow, V's into Porsches. My Strepsils and Honey are already on standby. Matt Schmidtke's been told that he may need to cover for me for the first part of the supercar race, of the Porsche race, so that the voice box can recover from the V's at the island, where we'll be 5 wide going into turn 1 at least once. Then, yeah, Friday night, the Super Formulas have been great throughout the course of the season. They go sprint racing, but it's only one 40-minute race in the Formula Fords, and we'll get a track-by-track comparison. Everyone keeps saying to me, oh, the Fords are better than the V's in terms of, you know, oh, hang on, there goes Harry Lawrence. That is a wild bush ride for him, cross-country indeed. He drops down to 17th place. There'll be a slowdown attached to that, I am sure, and he's coming up the main straight now. Oh, running my ears. Yeah, exactly. Dyson, the leader, after 14, well, on lap 14, after 23 and a half minutes. The interesting thing is, on Friday night, we'll also spin the wheel. The combination last week couldn't have been any worse. It was GTE cars at the clothesline in Vanilla, Victoria.
It actually wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad? That did not sound anywhere near appealing to me.
It was surprising. The GTE car was actually a fun car to drive around there. It was still hard to race and pass, but the car actually didn't do too bad around there.
Okay, copy that. Yeah, I saw that the other night and I thought, oh, geez, that's lethal. That's cruel. But if you enjoyed it, then that's all that matters. Raining's living rent-free in all of our heads. Yeah, at the moment it is. I'd like to actually see some. We saw some in qualifying. There was a slippery surface in qualifying. All right, there's nothing on the radar yet, Adam? We're getting to that point where there's got to be something, surely. The clouds are there, but they don't look dark enough or threatening enough. For mine, they do. Yeah, no, there's nothing there. There is nothing there. Oh my goodness gracious me! This is ridiculous. The Tempest weather system also has its faults, ladies and gentlemen.
I was trying to outsmart it, but it seems to have outsmarted me.
I'd say so. Josh Horton to pit lane, James Parker as well. So these guys now. Actually, no, Josh Horton didn't come to pit lane. Josh is blinky billing. Josh is blinky billing behind Jacob O'Reilly. So keep an eye on that. Josh Horton's in all sorts of trouble. Ninkrantz will sense an opportunity to take 8 away from Horton if he keeps blinky billing. Blinky. Oh no. A sting in the tail and a spanner in the works for Vermillion. Andrew Dyson continues to control this one at the front. 2.1 clear of Sam Blacklock. Marcus Watson looming large as a threat there. Then Harrison Lewis. Have a look at second, third, fourth, and fifth. Ryan Bettis is catching 1:45.300, the fastest time of the race. I was saying there earlier, Friday night. See, everyone's saying, the Fords offer up better racing and entertainment and quality than the V's. Put them side by side on the same track. We do that this week, back to back, Thursday, Friday night, and I'll be the judge of that because the racing around the bend the other night left a little bit to be desired in Formula Ford, but Formula V was scintillating. The difference between the quality of the East Circuit and the technical nature of the West, the quality of the West Circuit as opposed to the technical nature of the East Circuit at the bend. Now, Brian Rettis. I like it. Stewie, in come the leaders. Dyson, Blacklock, Watson, Lewis, Bettis, and Donaldson and O'Reilly and Horton. Critical lap for all and sundry. Ninkrantz also in. Will Sammy Sutton follow? Yes, he will. Bradley Rudder as well. This is the critical lap. No one's going for wets here. It's a dry run to the checkered flag. We've got no rain in sight. 7 laps to go. Off we go. Did one of the Vermilion entries just miss their box? I think so. Off we go.
Bettis has put tyres accidentally, I think.
Yeah, he has. Oh, no. And Washington as well. Bettis and Washington have swapped over for wets. That's not working for them right now. They're not the only ones. Andrew Neal's done it. Vinnie Ewan's done it too. Oh, they didn't learn from Chapo's cock up at Road America. What the bloody hell's going on?
So what that is they've pre-selected wets early and think it's going to happen. But the problem is if you have dry tyres on and you've selected wets in your black box, you can't uncheck the tyres. You have to swap back to dries to be able to uncheck the tyres.
Jesus.
Another iRacing friendly fire feature.
Yeah. Or not so in this case. So, have a look at how many have fallen into that trap. Look at this. So, John Wright, Miles Burgess, Jared Knight, also in the same trap. Advantage to anyone on the drives and still out there on the lead lap. Wowee. Wayne Hewitt is the last one on the lead lap. He's already completed his stop. He stopped on lap 14. Look at Badass all over the road and gone. Badass is off the road and done. He'll park up. That'll be him done. They're trying to cheer this rain on and egg it on, and they're praying for it. Their prayers are unanswered. Badass is parked up and retired. Yeah, but at the same time, you've got to go with the conditions in front of you, I would have thought. Wouldn't you, Adam Lavis? Like, I mean, yeah, I get it if it's a pre-selection and that's a little blip in iRacing, but at the same time, you know, if only there was an option in which you could come to pit lane and make the selection as you were driving down pit road.
You can. It's the thing is that thing where it's locked. If you've got a different tyre on to what you have in the car in the black box, it doesn't let you unselect tyres. That's the thing that's an issue. iRacing should have, like that, iRacing need to unreserve that, because you should be able to uncheck tyres no matter which tyre you have currently selected.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So, there's a few people that are going to be writing this one off. Ryan Badass being the first of those. And he had the fastest lap of the race. That is disappointing for him. Rayhana done. Snapping a lap down. John Wright, the last one on the lead lap. It is, yeah, you're right. It's a bit odd. It must be on the outskirts of the circuit. It must be on the outskirts.
It'd be what Benny's saying. Like we use there's a feature in the setup to have it so you don't have rain during the session to try and avoid the monsoons during the race. Because the monsoons are only there if it's actively raining. So if you eliminate the active rain, you don't get the monsoons. But I also figured out that you could actually move the times afterwards and keep the same weather. So I was trying to do that, but apparently the no session rain is overriding that, so it's pushing the rain away.
Yeah.
So we have learned something tonight, which is annoying, because that would be great to be able to do what I did, but apparently iRacing have said no.
Yeah. Again. Yeah. See, it's not perfect, and we've just highlighted that. This Tempest weather system is good, but not without its faults.
Yes, the reason, Tom, is the forecast that you see with 100%, that's based on the forecast that was in there, but the in-game system is pushing the rain away. So every time the clock gets closer, it's just saying 0%.
Yeah, agreed. Bring the storms, absolutely. Drive to the conditions. Have we heard of that? 1:45.048. Sutton now has the fastest lap of the race. Anyone that's out there persevering on the wets, good on you. Adam Chiplin has a bit of inroads to make on Vinnie Newen and Jeremy Washington, who are now 6 to 7 seconds slower than those. Well, actually, no, it's a little bit more than that. It's about 10 or 11 seconds slower than those that are on the dry tyres right now. So it's a long run home for them. There's 3 laps to go at the line for Andrew Dyson. That's Jeremy Washington coming through in 15th place. What wins column is the answer, is the question from Jack O'Donnell. Well played. And now there is Sammy Blacklock in one almighty fight for second. Look at Marcus Watson ranging up there on the outside. There's Harrison Willis right on board with him. Watson's right there with Blacklock now. Oh boy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers out there still on the wets. One parked up, had enough. Oh, trouble and gone. Watson's up the road. Blacklock holds on to second. Willis moves up to third, and Watson has been left behind. So, well, yeah, lesson learnt, but we owe these guys a wet weather race now. We owe our audience a wet weather race. Down the outside, Team Tactics, Schumacher, Barrichello, Vettel and Webber all over again. Willis down the outside of Blacklock. Let's go. Major 24 got it now, but it was just too off in the rain in the Majors 24. Yeah, and this is the thing too. Like this, and again, you know, the iRacing people are very good at what they do, but they miss the point on the small stuff, the little 1%. Like this.
Yeah, the problem is, like I was trying to, because as I said, with the, I needed some dry times with all 3 sessions to do the splits this week, because as I said, everything's so close. I need more data, so I had to push the rain back, and I don't want to use the God mode thing, because the God mode thing is basically whatever you set is guaranteed to happen. There's no weather variables, so you lose that factor. So I was trying to play with a little bit to use the forecasting, but apparently it's the setting is overriding what the forecast has got on the forecast, which is very frustrating. But we'll learn from that. And there is 2 more potential rain races in GT3, so we'll double check those settings before we go forward and make sure things all go good.
Let's hope so. I was looking forward to the race. I was up and about for it. Nonetheless, the dry weather race has been entertaining as well because of the tactics at play and and basically, you know, the uncertainty as to whether it was going to come or not. It hasn't. If you look on the outskirts of the circuit, it's tipping down at the moment.
Well, some of the drivers might be too upset because a lot of them were upset that there was going to be rain at VAR because I thought that wasn't a good idea. So those guys might end up being happy.
Well, that's true. Bondi's in the booth. He's just muted himself. We thank him for that because he's here with the the Pro-Am split already wrapped up for the night. This is the final few laps of the AM split now, of the Pro split rather, ladies and gentlemen. And the AM split is already wrapped up too. So we'll have those results for you very shortly in the post-race show. The race 2 results from the AM split, qualifying race 1 and 2 from the Pro-Am split, and the race 2 result obviously is unfolding before you in the Pro split here. Dyson the leader. He's got this one in a canter. 3 seconds to the good. Willis and Blacklock giving good chase. Watson O'Reilly putting pressure on his teammates. Donaldson and O'Reilly, I should say, arguing over the same piece of real estate. Horton's not too far away. Watson's somewhat on his own in the midst of all of this. And now they're 3 wide down the back straight, trying to navigate their way past lap traffic. The rate of attrition, Ryan Bettis is out, Jackson Rayhana out, Reese Wakefield out, John Wright and Dane Snowden both showing a lap down. The next one on the hit list to go a lap down is Miles Burgess. And basically anyone that's out there on the wets is just, limping their way home to bag the championship points, and they're guaranteed championship points as well because they're all in the 25 at the moment, the top 25. Brett Bradbury's joining us from the AM split. We'll get his thoughts in just a few moments. Let's get some Oscar and Lando, T45 Monza 2024. Yeah, why not? I like it, Louis. I'm all for it. As long as Oscar's coming out on the right side of the coin there. Reese was Miles Burgess pulling up and saying, you know what, that'll do me. He's on pit road. He's ticked the box, though. He's completed the 75% complement that's required to tick the box and be classified, so he can just sit there in pit lane now and see this one out. We're on the last lap. Andrew Dyson's going to get his second race win of the night here, ladies and gentlemen. After the victory in the Mazda MX5s earlier, Lillis is holding off Blacklock, the battle for second. Watson's been left behind in 4th. O'Reilly and Donaldson still sitting there 5th and 6th. Horton is 7th, under pressure from Sutton, so that's where your battle's going to be. 7th and 8th, if Sutton can latch on and go with Horton. He's already got the fastest lap of the race for good measure, 1:44.932. Ratu there, then Wood, then Lawrence, then Nick Rance, and then Cook. That's Angus Cook up into 13th. Cherney and Chiplin the top 15. Chiplin the beneficiary of all those drivers that went in with the wets pre-selected for the changeover. And that will do us. What are the ribs a bit ticklish, are they, Tommy? Is that have we got a broken rib there or something? That's because usually when you're sore and stressed in the rib area, you've usually got a break or some description, and normally everyone's trying to make you laugh, just make them hurt even more. What a night this guy's had. Started with a win at Road America in the Mazda MX5s, gets the job done in the feature race of Waste Options GT3 Pro. Well done, Andrew Dyson. Brilliant, clinical, magnificent stuff. Orbit drop there. Harrison Lewis to second. Got the better of Sam Blacklock. 0.2 for the margin. Watson home for fourth. O'Reilly, Donaldson, Horton held off Sutton by 0.27 of a second in the end. Then Bradley Radford. Good run for orbit drop there. 4 in the top 10. 3 Vermilion entries as well. The entropy of Nick Wood in 10th. Bradley Radford up 20 spots. That'll be the hard charger of this race. The bonus points for most positions gained. Well done. The title fight, the shootout between Vermilion and Orbit Drop there, very much alive and well here. That's Angus Cook coming home in 13th, having lost out to Michael Ninkrantz. Harry Lawrence got up to 11th. Daniel Cheney in for 14th. Adam Chiplin, Adam Hayne, and Wayne Hewitt. And then the wet weather runners. And by gee, they'll have a story to tell, won't they? Sammy Blacklock, well played. Great result there. Let's go down the order. Washington, Newen, Parker, Neal, Knight, Wright, and Snadden. Burgess, a retirement, but got the job done. Ticked the box anyway to be classified in 25th last of the point scorers. Everybody else not classified, forget about that. Well done to Sam Woodhouse. Another win in the feature of the AM series, so that brings Brett Bradbury's run. Sorry, I know a Brett Bradbury and a Brett Bradbury. I just got the two mixed up there for a moment. That brings Brett Bradbury's winning ways to an end for the moment, but the first 3 to start the season is a very good start to the campaign for him. You'll hear from him in just a moment. Sam Blacklock, Sam Woodhouse have just joined us as well. You'll hear from Sam shortly. Martin Davis, Mitchell Buckman, Quinton de Klerk, Patrick Hernal, then Bradbury. Then you go back to Rollo Pedersen, O'Loughlin, and a good fight back from Garrick Nemeth as well after the troubles he had in race 1. Those guys got to the end at 21 laps and no real issues there by the looks of that, which is good to see. Feature race results here for you. I've already run through them from top to tail. You can read them for yourself. But a great result for Andrew Dyson and DPR Racing, not headed in that feature race tonight. Once he got to the front, it was similar to Road America. He just took off, built a buffer and drove it home comfortably. Very nicely done. Jeremy Washington, driest wet weather round I've ever seen. There'll be plenty more comments like that, and they'll all be funny too. Oh dear. And they'll all be right as well.
Right.
Whether you're frustrated by that or not. The Quali results for the Pro-Am server for you now, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Michael, Neil DeBroad, Travis Azzopardi, Jonathan Hooper, Paul Wood, the top 5 in qualifying. Liam Amos, Craig Bond, good result. Greg Heaney, Jason Wilkinson, and Luke Fitt, the top 10. Race 1. Jonathan Hooper getting the job done from Liam Amos, Nathan Michael, Travis Azzopardi, Luke Fitt, then Craig Bond, Greg Heaney. Good to see those two not arguing over the same piece of real estate as violently as they did last week. Jason Wilkinson, Brad Coates, and our good mate Daniel Correa star. The feature, and there it is. Look at this. No wonder he was so chipper and quick to get into the club out to have a chat to us in the booth here. Look at that. C. Bond, top of the pops. Well played, nicely done, and a good round, a good race win for him there as well. For the boy from Gundy Guy, first win of the season in Pro-Am for him. Nice turnaround in fortunes because he's had a shocker over 2 weeks to get things underway. Let's see, the return to school might actually be working for him. Bobby Cano, Nathan Michael, Daniel Correa, Dale Sharp. Good result for Sharpie. His teammate Paul Wood, Sean Benetti, Jeff Adams, Stephen Gallagher, and Liam Amos. Very nicely done. With that in mind, gentlemen, Mr. Woodhouse, Mr. Blacklock, Mr. Bradbury, I'll get back to you in just a moment. We've got a schoolboy here, and he's got I'm assuming, first day of term tomorrow because it's usually a pupil free day on the Monday. So good evening, Bondi. That's a nice sort of change of pace for you because the first 2 weeks haven't been anything special. Oh, have a look at this. Harry Lillis, fire up rain fans. Wait, did you not see the rain? It was there. Wait, no, that was sweat in the helmet of Scott Rankin. Oh, I love it. Yes, no rain tonight, guys. Apologies for that. But back to the drawing board we go with regards to finding the right balance there in the rounds and weeks to come. Bondi, you've been a bit deflated in the last couple of weeks. You've been a bit despondent with the way things have been going, a bit down to the dumps. That's a nice turnaround, though, mate. Good to see you back in the top 10 firmly and back on the top step of the podium in the feature race. Talk us through that night, please.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. Holy, what can I say? Not a bad night at all. Disappointed in Quali, probably went wrong tyres, went on slicks. Came on penultimate lap in Quali, I kind of made a mistake at the final corner, which put me back in Quali. My final lap wasn't the best as it could have been, but we kept going, got to second in the first race, and then underfueled the car. It was just started to run out just after pit entrance on the final lap, so dropped me from second down to sixth, which was disappointing. But look at that, race win in the second race. So wasn't the quickest on track, but definitely the most consistent. So not a bad night.
No, not a bad night at all. Great result for you, mate. I mean, and it could be a turning point, momentum change that you need to take this and run with it going on through the balance of the campaign. A nice little, vote of self-confidence, no doubt, taken from that result. I mean, we'll have a look at the calendar and the schedule ahead in a moment, but it had been difficult the first couple of weeks. Talk us, like VIR, it's one of those sorts of tracks, isn't it? It's sort of hit and miss. Some people love it, some people don't necessarily like it, but how do you find it as a race car driver? Is it one that you enjoy, or are you just now adding it to the list of favourites because you've got to win here?
At the start, you couldn't say any better. I was down in the dumps stuff the first 2 weeks, but this is a track I'm happy to drive any race track on this server. It's a great race for everyone, and didn't get much practice in as I only got home tiny bit before the session opened, so I didn't get much practice in, and most of it was somewhat recovering from the weekend. And but yeah, it's not a bad track. It's actually provides some decent racing. You just got to be really consistent, because a single mistake can cost you big time around here with how close the dirt is and massive drop-offs. So got to be careful with that. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Bobby Camo reckons one more lap and he would have had you.
Possibly. I was... oh no. Who knows what happens in one more lap. So, yeah.
Well, that's very true. Talk me through what that means going forward, mate. Misano is next. Marco Simoncelli, Misano World Circuit in Italy. And then we go to Magny Course. So we go away from... we go back to Europe, I should say, after being there last week. And we've got 2 rounds there. And then we're off to, South Australia. Why am I thinking of igloos at this particular point in time? Just talk me through your thoughts on Misano. There's a bit more in the way of runoff area there compared to, say, Detroit or a Chicago or a Mount Panorama. But at the same time, a bit more of a technical circuit. It will lend itself to overtaking opportunities and other things, but you're going to have to work hard for it.
Yeah, well, it's good you didn't go much further into the igloo, Zach, at South Australia. Yeah, I did enjoy Misano on ACC. I really enjoyed that track on there in GT3, so I haven't done any driving on iRacing there, so I'll have to get some practice in after I come back from karting next week and do some laps, unless I do it this week. But any track's good. It's a pretty good track from what I've seen of it, so hopefully it provides good racing.
Actually, Craig, I'm more than capable of digging my own hole with that sort of stuff, mate. Leave me to that. You don't need to help me dig it. I'll just have my hoodie and my ski jacket on standby for that night. Hopefully this was also what turns the entire season around for you, mate. What's next, and how does the result here improve your hopes and aspirations and confidence with the other categories that are on the agenda this week, the supercars and the Porsches and the like?
Oh, all I need really is just to turn around Porsche Cup. 2 pretty bad weeks for the last 2 weeks in that series. Supercars have been amazing. Last week got away with the podium, I'm pretty sure, so this and Supercars have been up there, but hopefully Porsche Cup's going to turn around. I know GT3s, I know how to get the pace out of this McLaren, I'm pretty sure. Even though the other team members hate how I do it, I know how to do it with the setup and stuff, so we'll see how the Beamer goes for the rest of this season.
Copy that. Now, before we go back to, 10 weeks of the Monday to Friday grind of the education system, how was Dubber? You were out there at the Lincoln County Raceway doing some real-world karting over the course of the weekend. How'd you fare?
Oh, it's great to be back in the seat after a month and a half. Feels a lot different to sitting in your room on a sim in front of a screen.
I'll bet.
Went pretty good. I think I was like second in the first practice, third in practice 2, fourth in qualifying in heat 1. Heat 2, made a mistake at the top of the track, which cost me just a little bit of time, which put me down to 5th, and I couldn't get that position back. And then had a nice night there. Sunday, pretty good first race, well, heat 3. Stayed out of trouble, didn't get any damage, just kept my position in 4th, and then the final, I just changed and I went all out, went for the positions, had actually a pretty good battle with half the field, and then once again made a mistake at the top of the track, which almost ruined the race in the last lap, but penultimate lap, and then got that back on the final lap, and then a bit of push and shove, went over a curb, too wide moment down the hill, and I actually got 4th out of it as well, so I got the position down the hill after a very sketch overtake at 100 k's an hour, so on the outside. But yeah, it was a pretty good weekend out of 9 people, so it's a really competitive field, so learned a fair bit as well with the card and my driving, so nothing to be annoyed at.
No, not at all. I'm actually just having a look at your Instagram story right now, that winning feeling, that winning moment for you. Fair sort of advantage that you had in the end, to be fair. Very well done. But in saying that too, I mean, obviously, it was just going back to put a full stop on VIR before I let you go. Obviously, we'll be seeing you Thursday night on the mountain in the Porsche, but how'd you find the strategy play of that and the overtaking opportunities and also that anticipation, that threats of rain that didn't come to pass?
It was pretty good overtaking. You can overtake a decent amount if you try it, but all first in I was just fuel saving, trying to get a bit quicker pit stop time, which I actually went past my pit box, and which cost me a fair bit. Otherwise I probably would have been pretty chill for the last stint with a bit of more off up, so is what it is. Still came away with the win, but I need to improve my pit stops.
Yeah, indeed. All right, mate. Hey, well done. Good to see you back in the winner's circle. Thanks for stopping by to have a chat with us. Hopefully it's a sign of things to come for you, and go well for the rest of the week. The boys will catch up with you Wednesday, and I'll look forward to seeing you on track on the mountain on Thursday.
Yeah, hopefully I can take this on for the rest of the season, and thank you.
Enjoy the school week as well.
That's not going to be fun. We won't even talk about that. I'll enjoy my last 2 hours.
Yeah.
1 hour before I go to sleep, and then have to wake up in school mode.
I was going to say, my social media threads are going to be exceptionally quiet during between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. for the next few weeks. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Go well, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, he must let me know how he's going with trying to restore his Snapchat as well at a later point in time. that was the story of last week. Monday just disappeared off the face of the planet. We've got, if Andrew Dyson and Sam Blacklock don't mind, I'll come back to you guys in a moment because we're watching your replay on screen right now. I want to start with the AM boys because that's where the broadcast started this evening. Stan Woodhouse and Brett Bradbury are here. Hey, Brett, well done, mate. It's been a terrific start of the season for you, ticking the boxes, 3 wins and another solid finish. The winning run was eventually bound to come to an end. It was destined to happen at some point. We just didn't know where it would be. But nice that in 3 different formats of racing, you bagged 3 wins and you're the form runner in GT3M to start the season, mate. Well done.
Pretty happy with that. I don't know whether turning 60's made me any quicker, but it's been a pretty good run. But I just couldn't come back from starting 10th. Made a couple of mistakes, dropped back to about 15th, and was able to sort of come back to 6th. So it was a pretty good night. I really enjoyed it.
The old phrase, age shall not weary them. Maybe it is. Maybe there's something in the pudding there. I know some of the guys here in Queensland who race in real world motorsport. The trick to the trade has been getting into a faster car, something with a bit more grunt, and enjoying the best of the 7th decade of their lives, and really, applying their trade and not showing any signs of A, growing up, or B, slowing down, or a combination of both. Maybe there's something to that, Brett. You might be onto something, mate. Hey, a great result though. I mean, you wouldn't have necessarily expected the number of competitors on the grid, number of fellow competitors that you had to contend with and race against. The numbers in AM booming at the moment, and B, to be able to start the season on 3 completely different racetracks. What's been your highlight so far out of all of those?
I think sort of taking a gamble tonight on the second race and staying on the dries sort of helped things out. I think tonight went better than I thought it would. It's a really hard track to pass, and I was sort of expecting a bit of carnage. But the guys down in AM race really, really well. They're very polite, and we've had some good battles. So I'm really enjoying that bit of it.
Indeed. The second race, the challenges for the first time this season of having to work your way through the field from 10th on the grid, having got the win in race 1 and the invert taking effect.
Yeah, I actually started in 10th last week and come through for the win, but much more bigger track, much more passing opportunities.
And much longer time frame in which to do it as well, Brett.
That's right, yeah, that's right. I was kind of hoping it'd rain. I don't do too bad in the wet, but that didn't happen. But on a tight track like VIR, trying to carve your way through is pretty difficult.
Mate, you had every member of the club hoping it was going to tip down at some point this evening, and we didn't see a trickle, except for Road America in the Mazda MX5s a few hours ago, which we've got to talk to Andrew Dyson about as well. It's important to note. Hey, from your standpoint, obviously Adam Lavis is going to be crunching some numbers tonight, and there's going to be a lot of moving and shaking, for lack of better words, to suggest at the end of the night going on. Are you worried about the prospect of potentially being bumped up into the Pro-Am split, and instead of being, the big fish in the small pond, being the small fish in the big pond, so to speak?
Yeah, look, I'd say it's pretty well bound to happen. It doesn't bother me too much, but it is nice being back down with these guys, and it is nice to actually have a win. But if I end up going up, I end up going up.
Well, that's true. And, mate, how are you finding the McLaren as well? Noting that it was the car of choice with the Acura in our Pro Split last season. This term, there's a bit more manufacturer diversity and mix in the Pro Split. But again, the AM Split, the Pro-Am Split, look to be favouring the McLaren and the Acuras all over again.
Yeah, I think it's a nicely balanced car. I seem to drive it quite well. Beginning of the season, tested out a couple of different cars while practicing, and in the end just felt that this one suits me best.
Thoughts on the next round of the championship, mate? How familiar are you with Misano in Italy?
Not greatly, but I suppose I'll have to sit down on the weekend and cut a few laps and see how I do.
It's the one where the Lambo caught on fire over the course of the weekend, if you haven't already seen that highlight reel on socials. So that's where we're heading.
Yeah, I'll give it a try on the weekend, see how I go.
What else is on the racing schedule this week, mate? Quickly before we let you go.
The V's at Phillip Island look pretty exciting, and
Bloody oath they do. Absolutely.
so yes,
Cannot
I'll definitely be there, and I've got to give them out and run in the Porsche. So I'll be running a few things.
If we haven't done enough to pump the tyres of that bloody V race at the island to get 50 on the grid, I'm not trying hard enough. It is going to be the best fun that you will have anywhere this week on the platforms of the GSRC, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday night. It is 7:30. Whether you're a viewer, a commentator, or a driver, make sure you're here. It is going to be well worth the price of admission, more than anything else, just to see whether or not I have still got a voice box left to work with for the Porsche race, based on previous visits to the island in Formula V. We'll see you there, mate. Well done again tonight. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out for you. We will be showcasing a few more of your AM Series split races between now and the end of the campaign, or if you get bumped up, promoted up into Pro-Am, the same applies there. So we'll be looking forward to watching you on track at a few different points throughout the course of what's left of the campaign. Go well.
Thanks, Zach.
From Mr. Rd-3, let's go to Mr. Woodhouse. He'll just have to unmute himself, so I'm going to have a chat to him here. Sammy, well done. Nice feature race win, mate. Talk me through the challenges of mastering VIR and benefiting from the chance to reset go again in that invert situation. If we've got Sammy. Not sure we do. We'll have to try and get back to Sam in a moment. If you haven't reset your push to talk, mate, that might be the issue. Just chime in when we can hear you so that we can confirm. The quicker we get this done, ladies and gentlemen, the quicker I get to go and catch up on home and away and have you been paying attention. Still a lot to come on a Monday night. Don't forget as well, I know we've mentioned a lot of motorsport things coming up this week. Good luck to our karting contingent that are making their way up to just down the road here at Champions Way in Willowbank to the Ipswich Kart Club round 4 of the Karting Nationals. You'll see them on 7+ Saturday and Sunday. Formula 1 back this weekend as well. IndyCar on Monday morning from Laguna Seca, but for Formula 1 it's the Belgian Grand Prix. The sprint is Saturday night, the race is Sunday night, and all eyes on Oscar Piastri after what happened there at the British Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. I still think that if that was dry weather, he doesn't get slugged with the penalty. And then, of course, and I'll go to my grave believing that, and of course, as far as other big sporting events are concerned, if you're a fan of the swimming, it's back on Sunday too with the World Swimming Championships getting underway in Singapore. So family-friendly time slots for that one. Given the 2-hour time difference between here and there, it's in sync with Western Australia, of course. What else should I mention? Formula E Grand Finale this weekend as well. Championship already wrapped up, but the final round nonetheless in Great Britain. I'm sure I've got something else to mention there, but we'll get to it as we go. Have we got you now, Sam?
Zach, can you hear me, mate?
I can, mate. I can. There we go.
Beautiful. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for that.
No, that's all right. Newbies to the booth sometimes get caught up by that. It's a trap. It's a trap for younger players, as they say. But
Yes.
in saying that, mate, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful that I've been praised in the past for my ability to pad so that we can fill gaps like that. Let's
Great
chat.
padding, Zach.
Thank you. Let's chat to you, Sam. Hey, mate, that was a great performance from you to end the run that Brett Bradbury had been on. 3 race wins to start the campaign. Someone had to end that dominance. You ended up being the person that was able to do that. Talk us through the challenges of VIR.
It's a tricky track. It is a very tricky track. I haven't raced it since the Forza days back in about 2016. And so the first race didn't do too well. Qualified quite low. Had a bit of an incident in the first race and started me in 24th for the second race. So I wasn't feeling too good for the second race. I'm going to be honest with you, Zach. It's a bit of a blur, mate. I mean,
Well, that's it. That's impressive if you've gone up 23 spots in 37 minutes, mate. That is a fair bloody effort. Let's be honest.
Oh, I'll take it with both hands. After the first lap, I think I was up about, I want to say between 5 and 10 positions, and there were trains forming, and I just happened to force my way through, really. There was a bit of a dive bomb on Brad that I distinctly recall, and I was pulling up to her, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll brake early, and he braked very early, so I'm like, well, I'll go for it then. And you know, I had the Whiskey Business Boys saying, let's go to wets, and I'm like, it's dry, mate, it's dry. And so I stuck to the dries, and it just fell to me, really. Like everything just fell into place for the second race.
And you know, it's seldom does that happen. But as you say,
Yes.
when those opportunities present themselves, you got to reach out and snatch them with open arms, and you did that. And it's a nice confidence booster for you to
Absolutely.
build on form-wise for the balance of the campaign. We're going to get more intel from Adam Lavis a little bit later on as to who's going up and down and staying, etc. and so forth. Are you worried about the prospect of maybe being promoted up into Pro-Am?
I'm excited.
Oh, excellent. I like it. I like it.
Very excited. My goal last season was to end up in Pro-Am. So I finished very well last season. The goal was always to make it to Pro-Am, which I wasn't able to do last season. So that's what I've been pushing for this season. I haven't had a great start. The first couple races didn't go my way, so it's very confidence boosting to have this performance in the second race.
And that's the thing as well. Like, I mean, if it becomes a little bit, you know, monotonous, repetitive, and also deflating to turn up and be here, you know, sometimes you'll see people just walk away from it altogether and try and reset and restart next term. But all it takes is one result to jag it back and turn it all around. And Bondi's had that tonight. You've had that tonight. It's been a good night for quite a few of you. It's been a forgetful night for some as well. Let's not, you know, make any qualms about that. But it just bodes well for the next 7 weeks, mate. And it's exciting to hear someone come in here and say that they'd welcome the challenge of being, you know, stepped up to a faster class within, a faster split to be specific. And accurate about it technically. That excites me, because then part of the narrative is going to be, okay, Sammy was at the front of the bloody AM split last week, but when we check in with Pro-Am next week, if that's where you end up, okay, how's he tracking? And again, that's the only way to really, you know, test yourself, and at the same time, see where you stack up against those guys, and then develop as a driver and a performer, and work towards kicking further goals and being competitive there as well, mate.
Absolutely agree with you there. I mean, before I joined, I was a lot slower than what I am now. I've improved so much just being in the league, and you know, I want to race against the best in the class. No matter how long it takes, I want to be there, man. You know, I don't think I'll be you know, putting in any quick lap times in Pro-Am, but just to be there, you know, it's progression, it's a step up, and you know, maybe one day I'll be speaking to you again, but from the Pro-Am side of things.
Yep, exactly right, mate. And on that subject, what else is on the racing itinerary for this week? And immediately, without knowing exactly where you're going to be lining up, what are your thoughts on Mazzano next week?
As for racing this week, GT3s is the only class I race in, but I did hear you plugging the V's at Phillip Island, so maybe I'll make a guest appearance for that one. We'll see how we go.
I like it. Anybody that makes a guest appearance on Thursday night will be welcomed with open arms, because I reckon there's a real chance that if we put... Oh, I don't know what the track density at the island is, but if it's 60, I want to put 60 Formula Vs out there. I want to see exactly the sort of spectacle that would be, because there's no reason
that would be very exciting.
There's no reason why you couldn't be battling 20 deep for the lead, Moto3 style. around that circuit, and I'm here for it. That's the whole reason I turn up on a Thursday night now that Formula V is back on the schedule. It's fantastic. Hope to see you there, mate. If not, Mazzano next
Fingers
week.
crossed.
Well done again. Great result.
mate.
Anyone you want to thank on the way out?
Myself. No, honestly, the whiskey business team.
Oh, okay.
They've been a big help throughout the season. I mean, you lose as a team, you win as a team, and I couldn't have done it without the help from them. You guys won't see it, but they've it's the teammate aspect. They do a few things for us behind the scenes that you guys won't know about that is greatly appreciated. So, shout out to whiskey business.
Indeed. Well done to them, indeed. And we look forward to hearing from, I'm sure Greg Heaney will be talking about whiskey business in drives when we catch up with him later in the week. In fact, he's a notable absentee tonight, so we'll need to get some intel from him with regards to the rest of the group at a later point in time. Well done, mate. Have a great night.
I appreciate it, mate. Thanks, man.
Sam Blacklock and Andrew Dyson. I'm not going to draw short straws here. I want to start with Dyso because at the end of the day, two reasons to have a chat with you. Well done on the win in the Mustang in race 2, firstly, and a well-controlled race. But more to the point, well done on a clinical dominant win in the Mazdas at Road America, where at least we did see a little bit of precipitation that kept everybody on their toes. Your thoughts on the night that was, the fact that you've chalked up a win in the Mazdas, and then in only your second appearance in GT3 for the term, mate, having missed last week, you're in victory lane in race 2 here at VIR as well. When the question went begging from all and sundry, what happened to the rain?
That's true, man. We were expecting rain, but hey, it's gone anyway. Good to be back. I thought I'd better jump in and say hello. It's been a while, but yeah, I've had a pretty good night. Did miss the rain in the GT3s, like I said, but we got it in the MX5s. Had a big couple slides. When it actually rained in MX5s, it rained when I wasn't at that end of the circuit. So turns 1 and 2 it rained, and I didn't know. So I'll come back round out of the pits. Arrived at turn 1, there was no rain, but the road was wet, so you couldn't tell. And then next thing you know, you're flying off the road and going sideways and you're doing the Mr. Drifter. But that was pretty fun. Pretty surprising to see a lot of guys behind me were battling and stuff, so that gave me a bit of an edge there, and was able to sort of maintain a bit of a gap out of the draft and stay in front that way. But yep, GT3's reverse grip king. I'll take that. Was able to drive economically enough too to sort of maintain a bit of a gap, so that was cool.
Let's go back to the MX5s for just a tick, because that one ebbed and flowed a little bit. First up, you had a good buffer to play with, and then second, we found out that that buffer wasn't quite enough because they started to reel you in. What tripped them up was they kept squabbling amongst themselves, and that was the gift that ended up keeping on giving for you, because by the time you got to the pit lane, you were unassailable.
I did notice that. There was a few guys that were dropping some hummy laps back behind me, and there's not really sort of much you can do about it. I mean, when everyone's in a pack like that and they actually do work together, the MX5s are way, way faster together like that. So I sort of expected it. I was just trying to do the best I could and was hoping to see what would happen. It worked out in my favour, so I'll take it.
Indeed, we will. And looking forward to more of the same in the weeks to come, mate. Will we see you on a regular basis in the MX5s or not?
I don't know, man. I sort of just jumped in on a whim tonight, but they're usually pretty fun. I actually saw in the chat that it looked like they were pretty popular and a lot of people were jumping in. Not as popular tonight for the MX5s or the GT3s by the looks of things, but I'll jump in again for sure, especially if it's popular. I'll jump in and have a blast around.
Detroit and Sandown, the next 2 stops for that series, and they're both sprint rounds. You beauty. Then the Daytona Road Course, then Okayama for sprint racing, then Willow Springs for sprint racing. By gee, we've got 4 sprint rounds the next 5 weeks there. That'll be a pearler of a contest. Then particularly Willow Springs. We love Willow Springs. It's seriously underrated. Then on to the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, and then on to Phillip Island to finish things off. And anything you take to Phillip Island is well worth the price of admission from a spectator admission standpoint. If you're going to tune in and watch the action here on the platforms of the GSRC, and it's well worth the price of admission from the commentary box side of things as well. Talk to me about VIR. How much are you enjoying driving that Mustang at the moment, please?
Oh man, I only chose the Mustang because I thought no one was going to drive it. And then I jumped in the first round at Fuji and everyone was in the Mustang. I was kind of spewing. So I was actually going to change tonight. I was thinking about changing to something else and I couldn't really make up my mind. So I thought I wouldn't waste a change and then regret it. I'll just stay on the Mustang tonight. Had a setup there already, which was pretty handy. Some of the boys were planning on doing the 3-hour and they didn't on Saturday night. So I grabbed that setup that they didn't run and I used it tonight. Worked out pretty good.
And as far as the race was concerned, not dissimilar to the way Road America played out in the sense that you were able to find your way to the front, up 5 spots in the early stages, a little bit of hip and shoulder and argy-bargy early in the piece. You slipped your way through, got to the front cleanly. Lillis, Blacklock, they both gave good chase, but by the time they got somewhat clear air, mate, you'd already skipped clear to the point where as long as you kept hitting your markers, they weren't going to catch you.
Yeah, that was pretty much exactly it. I just had to make sure I was sticking to my little economical game plan there and just hit the markers and stuff and not fly off the road at the hairpin or oak tree or whatever it's called like I did a few times. So as long as I didn't do that, stayed on the road, made some apexes, it all came together. But, yeah, I guess now I need to start thinking about what car I'm going to drive next because I'm not really too worried about the points thing. I'll just jump in whatever car I feel like looks like fun, and whatever car's not popular, I suppose, will be the thing I'll be looking at.
Well, there were 3 manufacturers not on the grid tonight. The Chev Corvette, the championship leader coming into this round, wasn't here. He'd been driving that. No love for what else did I say? The Audi. There was no love for the Audi in our pro server tonight. There was in the AM server, and no love for the Lambo. So there's probably 3 options already of those that are not popular.
Just going off what you're saying there, it's probably going to have to be the Lambo only because if there's someone fast already driving the Corvette, there's no point jumping in that. It's going to be a bit boring. And I don't own the Audi. I've never actually driven it.
No, there you go.
Like
yeah, right.
Accounts like at their places and whatever. So yeah, I have to jump in the Lambo, this Lambo.
Another tip of the hat as far as your versatility is concerned as well, mate, to get a victory in the MX5s and now in the GT3s. I mean, last term, I think it was, we were speaking to you after a win in the Porsche, after a win in the GT4, I think even, might have been right in saying, and the supercar as well. So you're starting to notch up some good results across the whole board.
Yeah, seem to be able to grab one here and there. I guess it depends on whether I've raced at the track before, got a bit of experience, or get a good spot with a reverse grid or something like that. Seems to help out. But yeah, I've had some good races like this. Pretty fun. It's good to be up front. I mean, I have plenty of good races too that I haven't won. Like just been out there battling away with folks, and they're all really good too. Like Fuji was a really good race the first time around. Not a whole lot of passing going on, but it was just a good sort of tactical battle thing, and that was pretty cool.
Indeed. What's next as far as week 3 is concerned, and what are your thoughts on Mazzano next week if we see you on the grid there in GT3?
Yeah, never raced there, so I probably won't be amazing, but I'll jump in, blast around, see how we go. Actually, I think I have raced there. I raced in Brad Pepper Racing League quite a while ago. Did okay. Oh, and I attempted to race in Porsche Cup there in AOG. Completely defecated the bed, as they say, so I didn't go too well. It also rained. Actually. So that was pretty fun. Couldn't see where I was going, so that's probably why I didn't know how to get around the track. But
I love it.
I might jump in.
I must highlight this at this particular point in time. Right, 25 past 10 on a Monday night. We've been here 5.5 years already, or 5.25 years at least. I think that's the first time anybody's used the word defecated on the platforms of the GSRC. So Andrew Dyson's got his own little slice of history here. Very nicely done. Crap, pooped, shit, it all goes, especially at this time of the night. You can get away with it. But yes, I like the choice of words. Very well played. Well done again, mate. Great result. The DPR Racing stable would be delighted with that. Look forward to seeing what you bring to the table once we get to Mazzano. You'll enjoy learning that track. It's a beauty. Enjoy the rest of the week. Well done on the 2 wins tonight. Go well.
Appreciate it. Thanks for putting it all on. Shout out to everyone. I'll catch you later.
From Andrew Dyson to Sammy Blacklock, the team spokesperson for Orbit Drop there this evening. Boy, gee, didn't you blokes rock and roll? But I need to ask you, what was going through your mind a couple of laps from home? Were there team orders at play here? Because I'm looking at how easily Harrison Lewis just blasted on by you, and I'm having nightmares and flashbacks to the likes of Vettel, Webber, Schumacher, Barrichello, etc., etc.
Interesting finish there, but I decided to let Harry go. I just thought he may have been the best option to go and chase down Dyson. And just coincidentally, it happened that Harry had a post-race penalty after that, at least as far as I know. I let Harry go just in the chance he could chase Dyson, but in the end, I think I basically stayed where I was, and Harry wasn't able to get there, and I guess I thought there was more laps remaining than what there were, but it would have been awesome if the race was a bit longer.
Well, it would have been indeed. In saying that, we've got our fair share of longer races here. You've had 2 of them to start the campaign, so for a point of variance and difference, it was good to have the sprint form back in action. In saying that, you guys got the call right. There were a few that didn't with regards to the whole wet-dry discussion. When did it click to you guys that there was no rain coming at all?
There were a few things we picked up on. We had all the iRacing spotter telling us to expect heavy rain and stuff like that. So we were gearing up to pit, and we were even going to take the risk and maybe jump on wet tires before it started raining. The sky didn't seem to get any darker, and nothing was really happening. So we just decided that, well, there's not many laps to go after the pits, so let's just have a gamble, go on the softs, and paid off.
Indeed it did. Now, the other thing that we should point out here is that this was a two-pronged sort of night, and I guess more eyes on how it all played out because of the fact that the championship leader wasn't here. Like the fact that we've had Campbell and the Chev the last couple of weeks absolutely dominating proceedings. It was nice to see how it all played out in his absence, making no mistake, of course, though, that Harry's the defending champion. Orbit Drop Bear, Vermilion, there's a good little battle forming there between those two teams. And if Campbell's going to come back on the grid and be a regular contender, he's still firmly in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. And tonight is a night that Harry would have wanted to make the most of. Get as many points as possible while his championship rival, or even some of championship rivals, weren't here. Thinking of Lewis Greathead and the likes. But I have had a pretty rough first sort of few rounds of the season. True. The end of last season was really awesome on the old tire. I finally worked the car out and, was on for my first ever win in the GT sort of side of things. And my internet went on me. Tonight for me was just trying to maybe sneak that first win in. But I did have a first tonight, and that was, I think, unofficially I've won the round. Which to me is a really big positive. That win still eludes me. The Mustangs at this track were just way too strong tonight, and credit to Dyson and Sam Sutton. They obviously, yes, the Mustang was fast, but they drove that car well, and really happy just to get what I thought was the most I could get out of this car, and looking forward to what the rest of the season has in store.
And I guess we've got to look at the positives and the negatives here, don't we, mate? I mean, 8th in Week 1, 2nd and 3rd tonight. The points are incredibly tight for round honours here. You're not going to believe it when we show you in a few moments' time. But obviously the blip in the road was the DNF at Spa last week, and that means that essentially you've only got one more drop round to work with and there's 7 weeks to go. So you know the importance now of making every post a winner going forward.
Yeah, exactly. And, I've been sort of focusing on going back to flying. So I've spent the last few weeks doing a lot of flight-related stuff, or at least on the simulator, doing a lot of flight sim and stuff like that. So I haven't been driving as much as I have been over the last sort of 6 months or so. I expect to not be, as quick as I was, at least last season. But it's always really rewarding when you come in with not really much practice, not much seat time over the week, and you're able to put in a solid result. In a car, like I said, I always say I don't really drive the GTs, but I have spent a fair bit of time in them now over the last season and a half. It's just been good, and really good for myself, prep for GT Pro and any special events that come up that I end up having a drive in. So, and obviously, awesome result in race 1 tonight for the team, locking out the podium. It was pretty awesome, and not all in the same car either. As a team, I think we're doing well. We're improving on bits and pieces that we can and working together well. So, really awesome to be a part of.
Indeed it is. And it's interesting too because there's still 7 rounds to go. A lot can play out. First question here, how are you enjoying the Ferrari now that you've started to bag a couple of good results?
I'd actually never driven the Ferrari ever really. Like, I've driven the older Ferraris a couple of times, but never driven the 296 up until the Nürburgring 24-hour a couple months ago. And I actually, this was on the old tire, but I really sort of fell in love with it, and I was really enjoying driving it. So when it sort of came out that a few of us were picking the Ferrari for this season of GSRC, I thought maybe I'd do it as well. And, at least it's a car I enjoy driving. It might not always be quick, but we'll see, what happens. That's still the same. I really enjoyed driving it, and I think driving style wise, sorry, I had a few beers while I was waiting to get interviewed. Driving style wise,
enough time, I don't blame you.
Driving style wise, it really suits me compared to a few of the other cars. So I've had a ball driving it so far, and I don't think I'll be doing any mid-season changes or anything like that. But yeah, it's tough. Tonight it was pretty clear cut. The Mustang was the better car, and I think there's even a few other cars may have had a bit of an edge on us. But we'll see what happens. There's hopefully some tracks coming in the coming rounds that suit this car more than the others. I guess that's the fun of GT stuff, right? You if you want to be in the championship fight, you nominate a car at the start and you see what happens.
Indeed. And we've got to cover off Bradley and Sam in just a moment. Your other 2 teammates who bookended the top 10 with you guys tonight. You were 2nd and 3rd, they were 8th and 9th, and you had 1 DPR racing entry ahead of you and 1 Impact Simsport entry. 1 Entropy Simsport entry behind them. But I think Adam Lavis might be ready, and you've got to see this. I think Adam might be ready to show us the Pro Championship points after tonight's round. You wouldn't fair dinkum believe this, folks. We've been bringing a GSRC competition for the better part of 5.25 years now. I don't think we've ever had anything like what we're about to show you there. Have a look at the results for round 3 tonight. A 3-way dead heat on points. Harrison Lillis, Andrew Dyson, Sam Blacklock. Have a look at that, would you? Fair dinkum. A 2nd and a 3rd for Sam, of course. A 3rd and a 2nd for Harrison, and a 5th and a 1st for Dyson. I don't think we've ever had that. It's been a while in the making. There's been a couple of nights that have, probably gone close giving us those sorts of statistics. And poor old, who was it there? 51 points, I reckon there was. Yeah, Sammy Sutton was only 1 point away from a four-way dead heat. Bloody hell, she's tied at the top at the moment.
I hate to be that guy, but is that factoring in Harry's 5-second penalty?
Well, no, it wouldn't be at the moment.
No, 'cause I don't know what Kev's done, but his RC sheet has nothing on it at the moment, so I can't do any penalties yet.
All right, yeah. So
Well, that
I
is
think,
provisional. Yeah.
I think that'll be a two-way tie. We'll see
Well,
what
actually,
happens, but yeah.
well, if he gets a 5-second penalty and you move up, you win the round because you'll get the points for second.
Actually, yes. Well, yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I unofficially said that I have the round.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have a look at
Oh well,
that.
that's.
Well, in that case,
cool
then
for that
I'm
to
cross
happen.
with Harry getting the 5-second penalty then because it ruins a bit of history. But at the same time, it bodes well for you for some round honors going forward in the championship, mate. And it's been a night of momentum swings and twists and turns and other things as well. But quick comment on you before I ask you about Mazzano and what else you're plying your trade at this week. But quickly, Rd-3, not a great race one result for him, but to drive back through the field, 20 spots in race 2, that was phenomenal. Obviously, Sammy didn't start that feature race well, but he finished strong, up 2 spots to complement the race 1 win as well. So all in all, not a terribly bad night out for the Orbit Drop Bear stable.
Yeah, exactly. And, they made the most of, pretty bad situations. I guess, obviously, Brad's, race 1 and Sam having a bit of a rough start. And, I'm really proud of Sam Sutton, Mr. Antisocial. For the first time ever, I heard him get on the channel and ask for a race control investigation. So, that was a bit of a shock to the system. I didn't know he had a mic button in iRacing, so had a bit of a wind-up for him. He'll like that. But, as a team, most of us had a fairly reasonable night, and, we hope to continue that, and obviously not just in this series, but, in other GT stuff. There's a GT Pro round coming up in the next few weeks or so. I'm not really sure. I just work here, so we'll see what happens.
I love it. How good. Hey, just quickly before we let you go, what else is on the racing schedule for this week? And then, obviously, how quickly did you then turn your attention to Mazzano, which is the next stop for the GT3s, I should say?
iRacing-wise, not too sure for the rest of the week. We'll just see how I'm feeling. But I know I will be having a bit of a dip in an Airbus A320 on the flight sim, so that'll definitely be happening. And Mazzano next week. I don't even know if I own the track. That could be interesting. I can't really comment on it much because I don't know off the top of my head. I can remember even what the layout's like. So all I know is I hope it's a strong track for the Ferrari, and I hope it's a nice close battle like it was tonight with all like the top few of us that were all sort of neck and neck.
I'm sure that'll be the case, but it's nice to see some manufacturer diversity at the front of the field, no longer just the McLarens and the Acuras. Hey, I've held up more than enough of your time, mate. Probably still time to squeeze in one more cold one before you hit the hay for the night. Thanks for stopping
Just
on
one.
by. Yeah, why not? Why not two? Yeah, you're right. There's probably depends how late you're planning on going to bed, of course, and whether you're planning to go anywhere tomorrow, or whether you can afford to be hungover. Hey, well done. Great result. Good night out, and we look forward to seeing what you bring to the table. Same time, same place next week. Let it go well.
Thanks, Zach, and thanks Adam and Zach for all your work you do behind the scenes. Obviously, we really appreciate you guys being here, watching our races and commentating it. You guys do an awesome job, so thank you.
We're only as good as the show that's put on by you guys, to be fair, because if it's a real stinker, we can get carried away and bored senseless. more times than not. Thankfully, the racing of late has been top shelf, except for one of those Formula Ford races was an absolute stinker on the East Circuit at the Bend last week, and I said that on the record at the time, so I don't mind repeating myself. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. From Sam Blacklock to provisional championship points, noting that we've still got some penalties and other things to come through from race control. Where do we want to start, Adam? We've already had a look at the pro split, obviously. And just recapping, Harrison Lewis, 171, Sean Campbell, 152, all that provisional at the moment. Jacob O'Reilly, 142, Ryan Bettis, 129, and Lewis Greathead, 127, Wayne Hewitt, 125, Eli Donaldson, Jeremy Washington, 111, 110 respectively, 97 for Richard Mitchum, who wasn't on the grid tonight, and 95 for Andrew Dyson. If you've got AM results ready, mate, we may as well go there. I don't think you've got Pro-Am ready.
I haven't got either of them ready.
Oh, you haven't got either of them ready. Right, I copy that. All right, well, we won't bother. We'll come back to them later in the week when we've got more time up our sleeves. There's no point sitting around here chewing the fat for no reason, and just for the sake of it. But as far as sporting events coming up this week are concerned, I mentioned it a few moments ago. I knew I'd leave something out. Shannon Speed Series back in action this weekend. Sandown Park in Victoria. Good luck to all and sundry. Coverage 9 o'clock on Saturday, 9:30 on Sunday on 7 Plus, and there will be a TV window on 7, mate, but just check your guides for times regarding that one, depending upon your jurisdiction where you're tuning in right around Australia. We do it with thanks to Waste Options. We do it also with thanks to Trophy AI and Pantech Industries and Sprite Cider and GSRC.inc and Flash Graphics. Now, before we're next with you, the Aussies will take on the West Indians in the second T20 International in Jamaica, and you'll see it Wednesday morning from 9:30 a.m. on ESPN and Disney+. And then straight after that, strap yourself in, buckle up, and hold on, because this is what we've got coming your way on the platforms of the GSRC across Facebook and YouTube. As far as the rest of week 3 of term 3 is concerned, night 2, our non-broadcast offering is the Ferrari Challenge from the Silverstone Circuit in Great Britain, England, the United Kingdom. Oh, they've got more bloody names than they need, don't they? 3-race super sprint format, and the start time is 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday night, Liam Banks and to be confirmed with you for GSRC Wednesday Night Motorsport. Merge.tgsrc.com, Gen 4 NASCARs. That one's coming to you from the Talladega Super Speedway, either 50 laps or 50 minutes, whichever comes first. If it's anything like the truck race there or the ARCA race there that we've called in the past, you can guarantee that it will go time certain. Road America follows again, second trip there this week for Trophy AI Supercars, a 40-minute race on the agenda this time round, and that will be from 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursday night, lock this one in the diary. Be here, ladies and gentlemen, or make sure you bring your absent note with you next time you join us on the platforms of the GSRC, because that one will be the night of the year. That one will be at least the night of the term, maybe the night of the year, and I cannot bloody wait. It is Formula V from Phillip Island, 3 sprint races there, races 7, 8, and 9 of the championship. We've had 3 different winners in each of the 2 rounds so far. No reason why we won't have 3 different race winners again this Thursday night from the island. 3 sprint races, 7:30 Eastern. Matt Schmidt with me for that. He stays here, albeit a little bit hearing impaired after that. And yours truly having dropped a cylinder or two to take it about Panorama Bathurst for what should be a full grid of Porsche Cup action, a full grid of both open and elite split competitors for the 3rd round and the first of the non-sprint round, the Enduro for the Porsches this coming week. 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 60 minutes around the mecca of Australian motorsport, Mount Panorama Bathurst. We're very excited about that. So I hope you can join us. A 4-race program and a slightly later finish on Thursday night because the Porsches are running for 60 minutes. Friday night, back to the island, and this time Formula Ford's turn to emulate the antics, the shenanigans of Formula V. 40 minutes to journey there, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Then we go to Spa, and we've already been there this term in GT3. We now go there in Super Formula thanks to Sprite and Cider. That is Friday night. 2 sprint races, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll spin the wheel on Saturday night. We'll give you the combination car and track for Saturday night as the Oz Spins Wheel League Tour continues for you. And that is from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a 200-kilometre race on the agenda there. That's the itinerary for Saturday night, the Wheelie Spin Dogs Tour. And that will be, depending upon the circuit, will depend on how many laps it is to get you up to 200 clicks. Now, Monday night next week, Term 3, Week 4 commences with a trip to the United States, to Belle Isle, Detroit, Michigan, to the old home of the IndyCar Grand Prix. It's 2 sprint races for the Mazda MX5 Challenge, with thanks to Waste Options. That's from 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Then we go to Waste Options, a GT3 Pro, Am and Am. So no pro race on the broadcast next week. It's Am for the sprint, Pro Am for the feature. The venue is the Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli in Italy. 2 sprint races, back-to-back sprint rounds for GT3, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you can join us for that. Now, earlier in the night, we had a couple of people asking, how the hell do they get involved in this caper? Race.tgsrci.com is where you go for all your information with regards to that. While you're there, swap out race, chuck in merch, merch.tgsrci.com, gsrcmerch.myshopify.com, or all your GSRC merchandise paraphernalia and the like. And that's where you go to show your support and wear your club colours with pride, ladies and gentlemen. The hoodies, the shirts, the stubby coolers, the bottle openers, we've got the lot. I think Starkey's lights are also in there available to purchase as well. They're good too. That's it. We're done. A great night here. The start of another big week. Some interesting racing. We had one eye skyward, which means we probably missed something in the way of on-track action. But I tell you what, we probably didn't need the water tonight to add some spice to it. It was really top-shelf stuff. The Mazda's turned it on at Road America. We knew they would. Andrew Dyson victorious there. And then, of course, we've had, across the board, I don't think we had a clean sweep tonight. So we had 6 different winners across the 3 splits across the 2 races in GT3. So a very big night here. Brett Bradbury's winning run comes to an end. We've got 2 new winners added to the list of GT3 Pro for this season. Brondy's on the board in Pro-Am. Everyone's had a good night out. On behalf of Adam Lavis and all of the crew here, enjoy what's left of your Monday evening, everybody. Come back and join us Wednesday night as Week 3 action continues. Until we see you then, I'm Zach Caden. We wish you a very good evening, everybody. Thanks for your company from VIR. And before that, Road America, the American double done and dusted. More where that came from on Wednesday night with Talladega and Road America. Liam Banks will be here. It's yet to be confirmed who'll be joining him, whether it'll be Schmidtke or Zuno or someone in between. But we'll get it to you one way or another, even if it has to be a Saturday replay. We'll get something to you this week on the platforms of the Gentleman Sim Racing Club for Wednesday Night Motorsport. Keep an eye on our socials for confirmation regarding that. If it does kick in live, it'll be 7:30 Eastern on Wednesday night. For the team, we hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. And thanks once more, as always, for your company. It's greatly appreciated. That's the reason we do what we do. It's no good sitting here talking to no one. Thanks for your interaction in the comments section as well. And keep that coming. Look forward to your company on Thursday night for what will be the hottest ticket in town. Formula V into the Porsches, but the boys will cover you for the NASCARs and the Supercars in the meantime. Have a great evening, everybody. I'm Zach Caden. Bye for now.